Yeah. This is the Cool FAB-Racing British Mini Bikes Championship, the official partner series to the BSB.
Good afternoon, welcome to Cool FAB-Racing. This is Cool FAB-Racing Radio, round 8 of the 2018 Championship. This is the final set of races for 2018. We are already underway, 4 laps into the Mini GP70 race here on motorsport.radio, on the Cool FAB-Racing website and on social media. Thank you for just joining us after the lunch break. We're having a great battle with Evan Belford at the moment, leading this Mini GP70 race, the final one of the season, 2.7 seconds ahead of Bailey Stewart-Campbell. Rossi Bannon, though, right up the exhaust pipe of Bailey Stewart-Campbell, challenging into turn number 9. There's a long run that takes you onto the start line, and as Rossi heads just behind, he's going to go side by side with Bailey Stewart-Campbell into turn number 1. Can Rossi Bannon take the position into the corner? Not quite. He gets on the brakes, but he can't stop it in time. Remains in 3rd place. But at this halfway stage, getting on for halfway in this race, 5 laps now, we're on Evan Belford ahead of Bailey Stewart-Campbell, Rossi Bannon and Owen Mellor. Finn Smart in 5th place ahead of Harrison Crosby, only just 84 thousandths of a second ahead of Ollie Walker. Thomas Gomez, Sean Abel and Taylor Lawrence, Saffron Watley, Holly Harris and Joe Farragut round out the top 13.
Owen Mellor had been in that battle for 4th position, however he has just broken away in those last few laps, gaining over a second to Finn Smart behind, who is just coming under increasing pressure now from Harrison Crosby and Ollie Walker. That battle for 5th really looks to be hotting up during this mid-stage of the race.
Meanwhile, side by side into turn number 1 again, Rossi Bannon going for a look up the inside, trying to get past Bailey Stewart-Campbell. He's in 3rd place at the moment, he wants 2nd, he can't quite do it though on the transition from left to right at turns 2 and 3.
Rossi Bannon needs to really line up something out of that final corner. He needs to go for a move down the straight and block past Bailey Stewart-Campbell at turn 1. There's not really many places around the other parts of the circuit that he can do it. So Rossi Bannon at the moment a little bit stuck for things to be able to do. Evan Belford just clearing the traffic as they come to the final corner. Evan Belford is flying off with this. It's going to be a hat-trick of wins for him. He keeps on the island. Across the line though comes Bailey Stewart-Campbell and Rossi Bannon. No change in the top 3.
I tell you where there is a change though. 5th place, Harrison Crosby has got ahead of Finn Smart, but I don't think Finn is going to let that go easily. He is fighting back, and going into the first turn, Finn is going around the outside. It looks like Crosby having to do a defensive line, but it's no use, and I think Finn has got him. Bit of a twitch, but he's through.
Finn Smart back end stepped out on him there. He's lucky to hold it in, lucky to hold on to that position. Harrison Crosby will not want to let him have that. Finn Smart had a first podium back at Glanny Gores. He'll be hoping to, we won't be getting on the podium today, but he'll be hoping to finish this season on a high, and a 5th place will do just that. He's leading that big battle for 5th, containing himself. Then it's Harrison Crosby, then Ollie Walker, Thomas Gomez and Taylor Lawrence at the back of that group just there. It's a big one as they come across the line. Evan Belford is still leading, but Bailey Stewart-Campbell under pressure still from Rossi Bannon, both of those trying to take that 2nd place.
Still trying for 2nd place. It's 3 seconds between the race leader Evan Belford, Bailey Stewart-Campbell in 2nd place, going through the left, right, left hairpins, all very tight stuff. It's difficult to make a move there, not impossible, but you've really got to structure it or be very brave on the brakes, both of which can be quite difficult at the best of times. Harrison Crosby defending. Ollie Walker's got Thomas Gomez for company. They're trying to go side by side into turns 4 and 5, couldn't make it stick, but Finn Smart stuck behind another rider very briefly, trying to get past another rider in this race. Does get through, but that cost a good precious few seconds.
As you say, that other rider now is just coming on the back of Crosby, and it's a back marker, and that could definitely be crucial in the battle for 6th as we come across the line. Crosby still leads, but they're side by side with the runners down into the first turn, and I think Thomas Gomez will try and take advantage of that. I think it's just about Ollie Walker holding on to 7th, but it's so close in that battle.
Ollie Walker doing what he needs to do at the moment. He holds off Thomas Gomez at the moment, but there's not long left in this race. Finn Smart has broken clear in that group. He's alone in 5th place. It's all about Harrison Crosby now in 6th. Rossi Bannon is still on Bailey Stewart-Campbell's case through the final corner, neck and neck down the straight. No move this time around. Evan Belford 3.8 seconds lead he has. He is lap on lap quicker than the two behind him. So Evan Belford has got no worries at the moment. He is off and running at the front, but it is a huge battle for second place.
2.5 laps to go. Through turns 4 again, our battle for second place. Bailey Stewart Campbell holds on. 0.112 was the gap over the line last time between the riders in second and in third place. They give it a good go. He's getting very close. Is Rossi Banham. He's following him. He's following. He can't quite stand aside and make the decisive move. He might well leave it to the last few laps, and we are on to the last few laps. 2 laps left to go, which will separate Evan Belford and this race victory. Rossi Banham cuts to rider's left-hand side, trying to go the other way around. Could the cutback be on the cards here? He gives it a go, but Rossi Banham can't quite make it stick. He's got grip, but he hasn't got enough.
He's looking, I think he's rehearsing for that last lap. I don't think Rossi Banham wants to show Bailey Stewart Campbell too much before the final circulation of this 1 kilometre course at Tattershall. Behind them in 4th place is Owen Mellor. He's having a very lonely ride, but the big battle is for 6th place. Vince Marks 5th, but in 6th place Harrison Crosby has got Ollie Walker, Thomas Gomez, and then Taylor Lawrence for company. So it's a big battle there in that group as they come through. Now Finn Smart is in the complex, he's 5th, but it is last lap time at the front. Evan Belford is leading.
He is leading. Bailey Stewart Campbell remains in 2nd place, but they're through turn number 1. The number 13 rider, Rossi Banham, has a bit of a squirm on the exit, and this is really shaping up to be a decisive few corners. The red bike, number 13, waiting for that ever elusive move, or that elusive mistake from Bailey Stewart Campbell, who has won many times in the Cool Fab Racing paddocks, but it is a third of a lap to go is all that separates Evan Belford from a race victory and second place battle. Rossi Banham going to go for a look. He can't quite do it though.
Evan Belford leading at the moment. He's still got this all done and dusted. He's got 1 corner to go. Evan Belford takes a win. Bailey Stewart Campbell is going to be 2nd and 3rd. Rossi Banham tried getting him on the line, couldn't quite do it there. 4th is going to be Owen Mellor, no questions about that. It's been a very good ride for him. 5th is going to be Finn Smart. The question is who's going to be 6th. At the moment it's Harrison Crosby. Ollie Walker has not yet found a way through. Coming through to the line comes Finn Smart, that's 5th. Harrison Crosby will be 6th. 7th for Ollie Walker. Thomas Gomez 8th. And we are expecting Taylor Lawrence to be the next one, as there's a battle downfield, shoulder to shoulder, across the line, neck and neck. Saffron Watley, did she get Sean Abel? No, she didn't. Missed out by 55 thousandths of a second. How close do you want it? Harley Harris across the line in 12th. Joe Farragher in 13th. What a race that was.
A fantastic race to end the Mini GP 70 Championship season in 2018. Let us reminisce then with the highlights from that 3rd and final race of the weekend. A real strategic masterclass from our 2 people on the podium, that being Evan Belford, of course, was the race winner, but then Rossi Banham and Bailey Stewart Campbell had some fantastic scraps for 2nd and 3rd. Also that brilliant race, including Harrison Crosby, who defended fantastically throughout the entire 12-lap encounter, meandering their way through the middle portion of this circuit. It's an incredibly tight and twisty complex. You really can nail it, but you can also make a pretty poor job of it. So our race winner though, Evan Belford, nailed it every single lap, and the best lap, a 46.010. That was his fast lap. That was the best lap out of anyone, really pushed to the very end. So thank you very much for joining us here on the Cool Fab Racing website, on motorsport.radio and on social media. Thank you for joining us. Live coverage of round 8 of the 2018 Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bike Championship. My name's Dan Marr, alongside me Kiko Giles and Connor Jackson. Please do leave your comments below. Let us know who you're supporting in these final races of the season, who you want to do really well in these races. Coming up next, it will be the AC40 Pros, and the grid will line up with Mason Foster and Sullivan Mounsey on the front row of the grid, with Johnny Garness and Clayton Edmonds on row 2. Ronnie Harris and Luca Hopkins are on row 3, ahead of Ethan Sparks, Harrison McKay, Troy Jeffrey and Jamie Woodcock. Then we have Jada Howe, Taylor Stewart Campbell, Greg Marshall, Keaton Payne and Jacob Stevenson. That's how the grid is going to line up. Well, they make their way onto the grid. Connor Jackson, this is the final round of the championship. How much do you think these young riders will want to go out with a really fantastic race?
Oh, as you say, Dan, this will certainly be all or nothing for a lot of these riders on their bikes. Mason Foster will certainly be hoping for another strong result here at Tattershall. But we have some strong riders further back as well, with the likes of Clayton Edmonds, who performed spectacularly early on today with his defensive manoeuvres.
Well, spectacular defensive manoeuvres being had by many of our riders here in the paddock. But we get ready for the race start then. The third and final time this weekend, and the final time in 2018. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to live coverage of round 8 of the 2018 Cool FAB-Racing British Mini Bike Championships, live on motorsport.radio, on the Cool FAB-Racing website and on social media. The marshals move to the sides of the grid as we are ready for the AC40 Pros Race 3. Start line marshal walks slowly back to the starting position. The green flag goes up, the green flag goes down as well. That's a good start by our front row, Mason Foster and Sullivan Mounsey. A bit of creeping as they make their way into turn 1 for the first time. Sullivan Mounsey tried to go in for the race lead, but as they make their way through turns 2 and 3 for the first time out of eight, it's an all-action start. Everyone through the first corner cleanly.
Mounsey led into turn 1, but he didn't lead out of it because that honour goes to Johnny Garniss. Johnny Garniss is leading. He wants to sign off this year with a victory. Hasn't won yet this weekend. He'll want to win now. So Johnny Garniss leads this race. Mason Foster, your champion in the AC40 Pros for this year, is second. Third is Sullivan Mounsey, and I think that's Clayton Edmonds in 4th. So your leading 4 are like that. Johnny Garniss at the moment under a little bit of pressure from good rival Mason Foster. They come down towards the final corner, flat out through there. Now across the line, down the straight, Mason Foster's got a great run on Johnny Garniss. What's he like in the braking area? Has he got the stability that he needs? Not this time. Garniss holds on. So Garniss, Foster, Mounsey, Edmonds, Harris, Ethan Sparks, Luca Hopkins, Harrison McKay, Taylor Stewart Campbell and Jamie Woodcock. That's your top 10.
I tell you what, the move that Foster made into turn 1 did compromise him slightly out of the corner, and Mounsey has taken full advantage of that. He is all over the back of him, and as a result we really do have that breakaway 3 in the lead now, with Clayton Edmonds just falling slightly back.
Garniss, Foster, Mounsey, it has been like that for the entire season in one way or another. Those 3 are the cream of this AC40 Pro field. They have got massive futures ahead of them. But right now, out on track, Johnny Garniss is winning at the moment. He takes the very defensive line down into the final corner. That'll sacrifice his exit because here comes Mason Foster neck and neck down the straight, bucking and weaving in the braking area. Does Mason Foster get the job done this time? No, he doesn't. Just sits back one more time. Sullivan Mounsey now starting to become slightly detached from that leading duo. Johnny Garniss pushing on through turns 2 and 3. Mason Foster tries to carry the corner speed through 3 and 4, wasn't able to do so and make a move on Garniss, who is still your race leader at turn 5.
It was a late lurch going through turn 3 and 4. Had a very late surge of grip and speed, but couldn't initially make it through on the inside. That means Johnny Garniss, your race leader, was only 83 thousandths of a second coming over the line, but it is challenging. Mason Foster going towards the final few corners, lining up for a move. We've got a yellow flag on the exit of turn number 7.
Clayton Edmonds has high-sided out of 7.
Well, as we continue on with the race, is side by side for the race lead. This time Mason Foster is through. It was 53 thousandths of a second going on the inside over the start-finish line. He is through now, though. Mason Foster leads this race ahead of Johnny Garniss. Sullivan Mounsey worked his way back up into 3rd place and into real contention for 2nd place as well. So it's a 3-way battle for the race lead still, but Mason Foster actually starting to make a little bit of a gap.
Mason Foster now, will he clear off? We thought he would yesterday, and he did. We thought he would earlier, and he has. Will he do it again here? Yellow flag still out. They've just been taken in actually for Clayton Edmonds, who stands at the side of the circuit a little bit winded by the looks of it. He is up and okay though. At the front, Mason Foster's got his head down now. Fastest lap of the race to Mason Foster, 49.7 on that last lap. Lap 3, we've got 5 to go.
Inheriting 4th place after the Clayton incident was Ronnie Harris, who has really pulled away now. They're starting to pull away from Luca Hopkins in 5th. It's really spread out further back, and it's really just the top 3 that are the close battle on track right now.
Ronnie Harris has had a brilliant second half of this year. He was kind of floating about in the first half, but he's really come to our attention in this second half. Ronnie Harris to start for the future, and at number 66 we know what famous motorcycle racer has had that before. Tom Sykes, none other than the ex-World Superbike champion.
And as we continue on in this race, it is on lap 4 at the moment, and it's Mason Foster leading 4/10 of a second ahead of Johnny Garness. Sullivan Mounsey though is having an iffy time at it at the moment, going towards turn number 1. Not close enough to make a move into turn number 1, but he's very quick in the fast direction changes, namely turns 2, 3 and 4. The infield section, they both sort of tit for tat really, but making their way through turn number 3 now. Sullivan Mounsey's got a great run, trying to get second place, just passing another rider in this race. And as they continue into turns 4 and 5, this does continue. Mason Foster with the fastest up though, 49.770, a good couple of tenths quicker than Johnny Garness. 5 tenths ahead of Garness and Mounsey. Ronnie Harris, Luca Hopkins, Ethan Sparks, Harrison McKay, Taylor Stewart Campbell, Greg Marshall and Jamie Woodcock. That's your top 10 at the halfway stage.
I talk about Ronnie Harris not having too much pressure. Well, in that last lap, Luca Hopkins took half a second out of him. He's under a second behind now. And honestly, that battle for fourth is long from over.
The battle for the lead is also starting to look a little bit over, because Mason Foster is doing just what he needs to do, just what a champion does. Really, he is riding very, very well. He is leading this race. Second place is Johnny Garness still, and Sullivan Mounsey just a little bit detached now in third. Those three have been so good this year. What a joy to watch it has been. Mason Foster's second half of the season has been faultless almost. He has really got the hammer down, and it looks like he's got another win coming for him today.
And well, it's Luca Hopkins challenging for 4th place at the moment. 0.455 behind Ronnie Harris, making their way down through to turns 8 and 9. That's really increasing that battle. Ronnie Harris wants that good result, as you say, really come along in the last half of this season. 4th place could be a just reward, but Luca Hopkins is even closer, heading up towards turn 1. Close enough to make a move? Not quite, but really, really now piling on the pressure.
Sullivan Mounsey is so fast in a straight line, and he's so good on the brakes. I thought then he might just have a late lunge up the inside of Johnny Garness down at turn 1, but really, Sullivan Mounsey doing a grand job down that front straight. He is only light as well, so power to weight ratio in his favour over Johnny Garness. We've only got a lap and a bit to go.
I should point out, further down the field, we are starting to get a few more battles. The battle for 9th now is seeing Greg Marshall lead Jada Howe, who's just taken 10th from Jamie Woodcock and Caton Payne. Those four are really going at it in these last 2 laps.
Greg Marshall, of course, coming up into the AC40 Pros this year. He's been a regular in the commentary box, joining us for interviews and just general commentary. It's been brilliant to have all the riders up this year from the AC40 Pros, and I'm sure they'll come again later on today. But out front, Mason Foster, I think he's just done enough. There's no way that Johnny Garness is close enough at the moment. We've got half a lap to go. They're in the midfield section, coming up in towards turn 6 now. Mason Foster negotiates it safely. Johnny Garness has got the better and the beating of Sullivan Mounsey. Coming out to 7 now. Short burst through 8, then into turn 9. Hook it right round, long right-hander. Short burst. Mason Foster is going to do a hat-trick here. What an unbelievable achievement. Mason Foster takes the win. Johnny Garness second, and Sullivan Mounsey completes his season with another podium. 1, 2 and 3, just like they are in the championship. 4th place comes to Luca Hopkins. So 41, Luca Hopkins got the better of Ronnie Harris and held it as well. So brilliant stuff there. Ethan Sparks should be 6th. Here he comes, the number 62. Ethan Sparks. Through he comes. Harrison McKay is on course for 7th place, but no doubt in your race winner, Mason Foster, ahead of Johnny Garness and Sullivan Mounsey, and that rounds off what has got to be one of the best seasons of AC40 Pro Racing in some time in the Cool Fab Racing Championships.
A brilliant championship, the AC40 Pros. Mason Foster, your 2018 champion, is winner of this race. Only 9/10 of a second ahead of Johnny Garness, so our championship rivals for so long really went tooth and nail, and they did do it in the end. Fantastic victory for Mason Foster, Johnny Garness, Sullivan Mounsey, your podium. Luca Hopkins and Ronnie Harris ahead of Ethan Sparks, Harrison Mackay, Taylor Stewart Campbell, Greg Marshall and Jada Howe, the top 10 with Jamie Woodcock, Keaton Payne, Jacob Stevenson, and then Clayton Edmonds only completing 1 lap. But the race start then was a good start by everyone. This is when the real battle for the race lead started to emerge, really close between Johnny Garness and Mason Foster. Johnny Garness initially getting a good run. Sullivan Mounsey had his fair share of time at the top as well, but Mason Foster doing what he does best, just going in with that pincer movement, diving up the inside. No one's going to challenge him from that position. Took the race win off the back of that move. Well, that's something to be celebrated over the winter. Head over to motorsport.radio and onto the Cool Fab Racing website, where you can catch up on all of the 2018 action. Thank you very much for joining us on motorsport.radio, onto the Cool Fab Racing website and on social media. Live coverage of round 7 and indeed round 8 of the 2018 Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bike Championship. The Pit Bike 140 and Moto teams head out on to circuit now. Thank you very much also for leaving all your comments. We will read out a few of them very shortly. But Callum Wybrow and Harvey Claridge are due to line up on the front row of the grid. Sam Clowes, Sean Whittaker, yesterday's winner Sam Clowes and Sean Whittaker on row 2, ahead of Felix Hearn. Jamie King, championship leader, but Harvey Claridge is really challenging. This is one we're going to be following closely for a championship battle, with Scott Dootson, Blake Ansell, Henry Meduse and Fraser Kinnaird on the top 5 rows. Simon Clowes is in 11th ahead of Jason Pugh, with Adam Sweeney, Alistair Kinnaird, Neil Kinnaird and Iona Glover in the top 16. We do have 5 or 6 more entries than we did yesterday for today's races, so we will bring you an update on everyone who's qualified over the course of the day. And as the riders just getting themselves into the correct order, of course it can take a little while to get yourselves into the right order for where you have qualified. And well, you're listening to live coverage on Motorsport Radio. This is Cool Fab Racing Radio. Plenty of action still to come here from Tattershall in Lincolnshire. The sun is really shining now upon the grid for the Pit Bike 140 and Moto team riders. Everyone just getting themselves into the correct positions. As the start line marshals just making their way to make sure everyone is in the correct position, and the revs start to build. The trepidation rises, and this is live coverage on Motorsport Radio, on the Cool Fab Racing website as well. Round 8 of the championship for the final time in 2018. We're about to go motor racing with the Pit Bike 140 and Moto teams. The green flag goes up, it goes down very quickly as well. Going into turn 1 for the first time out of 12. Everyone's going to make their way through turn 1 cleanly. A bit of debris already mixing up. A few people making quite a lot of contact, running onto the grass for the first time. That's not how you're meant to do it there, lads and lasses. But through turns 2 and 3, everyone seems to have just about made it through. But the battle for the race lead really is on.
Harvey Claridge is leading. Jay King going into second and out is exactly what he needs to do. Now put the flag out now, and Jamie King holds on to his Pit Bike 140 crown. That is exactly what he needs to do. He cannot be lower than second if Harvey Claridge wins this race. So Claridge leads Jamie King, and in third place is Sam Clowes. So everyone else just coming through is all a bit bunched up at turn 1. We couldn't really see how it all planned out. I think Sean Whittaker is there in 4th place. We're going to run across the line now. So across the line has gone Claridge. 2nd place is Jamie King. 3rd place Sam Clowes. 4th place is Sean Whittaker. 5th place Felix Hearn. So great start from Felix Hearn as well.
So Felix Hearn, great start. Harvey Claridge though, 2.5 seconds in the lead ahead of Jamie King, who just needs to stay there. I've got my few points on him in my Motorsport Radio Predictions League. One of the things we would suggest you go and sign up to. And Jamie King in 2nd place then, well on course to hold on to his championship from last year. Sam Clowes 3rd ahead of Sean Whittaker. Felix Hearn 5th. Matt Cook, great start into 6th place. Fraser Kinnaird, Bernie Hook, Henry Meduse, Simon Clowes. That's your top 10. Connor Jackson.
As you say, it's been a determined fight back from Jamie King this round. Claridge has been on fire throughout Saturday and coming into Sunday, and leading by the gap he does. King needed this result, and it's a result he might just keep, as he's under threat now from Max Cook.
He's been passed by Max Cook, in fact.
Max Cook has gone through. Now, the interesting thing here is Max Cook was much quicker than Harvey Claridge in the first part of this race. So Jamie King, at the moment, would lose this championship by 1 point. That is what it comes down to. So, if Max Cook can get ahead of Harvey Claridge, then all of a sudden, Jay King can breathe a little bit easier. I've got to say, I'm mega impressed with Sam Clowes. Sam Clowes has had a fantastic weekend here at Tattershall.
Well, a fantastic weekend for Sam Clowes, winner in race 1 this weekend. And his father Simon winning in the moto team as well. A very happy Saturday for the Clowes family. Harvey Claridge was 3.4 seconds ahead of Max Cook. Harvey Claridge, though, over the line. So too is Max Cook, new fastest lap and 2.8 seconds, so the gap is closing in. Jamie King very comfortable in 3rd place, but Sean Whittaker's passed Sam Clowes now for 4th place. Championship permutations is if Max Cook can get past and stay there, that really will put Jamie King in a good position.
Sam Clowes has just retaken Sean Whittaker down at turn 1, so good move from Sam Clowes. Let the brakes off, was bold and brave, it made his presence felt on Sean Whittaker. Whittaker had to pick the bike up, had nowhere to go. Simon Clowes fighting his way through the field. I think he has got, say, who's he got ahead of him? I think it's Jason Pugh. He's got one of the other moto team riders. It's the 37. Well, we haven't got that on our timing monitor, but Harvey Claridge still leading from Max Cook as they all feel their way through this race. Max Cook, has he got anything to give Harvey Claridge? The gap is 1.8.
As you say about the moto team battle, it's a real good effort from Simon Clowes again to lead, but a special mention to Fraser Kinnard. An amazing start for him, pushed him all the way into the top 10, and although he has just had Bernie Hook appears to be separating the two now, he was just behind Simon Clowes and almost fighting for that moto team lead.
Simon Clowes there in 7th place, so he's got work to do from there, and he is already the moto team champion, so no need to worry for him. He's done his work for this year. Out front, Harvey Claridge, what's the gap this time? It is 2.2, so it's gone up a little bit. 47.9 for Claridge, 48.3 for Max Cook. So that is not what Jamie King needed to see, really. Max Cook has got to get chasing after Harvey Claridge.
And the battle still raging between Sean Whittaker and Simon Clowes. That's the battle for 4th place overall. And at the moment they are running more or less line of stone through turns 2 and 3, really hustling the bikes left to right, side to side, really using the energy of these pit bikes. But for the aggression, you need to really ride them well, doing a fantastic job of it so far. But Harvey Claridge with on lap 5 at the moment, 8 to go, and it's still in the lead ahead of Max Cook, but Max Cook's got to put the real effort in now to start closing in. Harvey Claridge over the line.
Yep, over the line. That time
1.4.
So Max Cook was about 8 tenths quicker that time around than Harvey Claridge. The gap has visually come down, 7 laps to go. Max Cook wins this championship. He's going to Jamie King. If he doesn't get past Harvey Claridge, this championship is going to Harvey Claridge. That is what it is, and they are visually close to now. They're in the midfield. We've got a little bit of traffic to get through. Let's see how that affects them. Harvey Claridge looking, he's been held up by one of the motor team bikes at turn 7. He's got through him now. Max Cook is next up. Max Cook has to take evasive action as well, avoids collisions, but Max Cook is now right on the back of Harvey Claridge through the final corner and across the line.
I tell you what, if Max Cook does win this, it would be an amazing achievement for the rider, who I swear Jamie King would buy him a drink afterwards, because that would be an amazing achievement.
He'd buy him a drink, but it'd have to be a can of Coke, because Max Cook isn't 18 yet, so we don't want to be getting him in trouble. Adam Cook or Lynchers. They're coming through turn 3 and 4. It's so close. Max Cook having to go the long way around. Can't see who. I think it was the 17, and that was Adam Sweeney. So Adam Sweeney then being a mobile chicane for Max Cook, to having to try and thread the eye of a needle through there. Out to turn 7 now. It is game on.
Championship battle in round 8 of the 2018 FAB-Racing British Mini Bike Championship, live on motorsport.radio and on the FAB-Racing website. Harvey Claridge leads this motor race in the Pit Bike 140 and Moto Team race, the final one of the season. Max Cook 7 tenths of a second behind at the moment. The gap ebbs and flows, but they've got 5 laps in which can decide the championship. If Max Cook goes ahead of Harvey Claridge, then Harvey Claridge will not be the champion. Then nose to tail, heading through turns 4 and 5. Into turn 5 now, the first left-handed hairpins. Max Cook thinks about throwing one at the inside, can't make the move at the moment through left, right and left, a very tight infield section, and this is where Harvey Claridge has got to really challenge it now. He's gone almost side by side. They are going to go side by side. Max Cook desperate to take the race lead, trying to go around the outside. He's going to get the cutback coming into the final corner. This could be crucial for the championship. Through the final corner, about to come over the racing line. Start line. It's not a main position though. Harvey Claridge is still ahead, but only just. It's 0.2 of a second into turn 1 with 4 laps left to go, and Harvey Claridge cannot put a wheel wrong.
Pressure is on Claridge now. He has got to deliver this. He cannot afford to allow Max Cook to take him. He's got to get straight back. I thought Max Cook was going to have a look at the inside of turn 5. Jamie King is still there in 3rd place. 4th is Sam Clowes. 5th is Sean Whittaker. 6th is Felix Hearn. There's battles all the way down this field, but the big one is at the front of this championship. This is for championship glory.
I tell you who else to watch for though, Felix Hearn and the battle behind him. There's at least 6 riders all in that intense battle there for 6th place, and it's going to the wire. There's even Simon Clowes in the Moto team bike still in with the PB bikes. Unbelievable effort from him.
Simon Clowes has been mixing it up there with them all. Yes, so is Will Howarth, but no Will Howarth this weekend. Harvey Claridge leading this race. Max Cook having a big sniff down the inside at turn 3. Couldn't quite get it done. Didn't quite set it up well enough through turn 3. They are now side by side down to turn 5. Claridge holds on. Max Cook wants it. Who is going to take this? My goodness me. We have got 2.5 laps to decide the entire series here. The Pit Bike 140s have really come alive in this race today, race 3. I didn't expect Jamie King to be so far up, in all fairness. He had a bit of a lousy first outing today. Coming through the final corner, backmarker City, you can do without that really. Harvey Claridge is still leading with 2 to go. Ahead of Max Cook. Is there time for Max Cook to pinch this?
Well, we've got a rider stopped just on the start-finish line, the number 20 rider. Can't see who that is at the moment. It's Blake Ansell who does get going. Yellow flags are back in, but that was a brief hindrance to the title challenge. Harvey Claridge, though, through turn 4 at the moment into the infield complex. Once again, it was 0.404. Gap not found coming through those corners, but it is extending only slightly.
Max Cook lost the front end there. How he held that, I do not know. He's pushing on. There is absolutely no way he's doing his mate Harvey Claridge a favour here. Max Cook wants to win this race. Now then, traffic. We've got a kilometre and a little bit more to go, and that is it. If Max Cook gets mired in this traffic, it may well just put play to Jamie King's championship assault here. Harvey Claridge is looking on the inside, trying to get through the traffic. He hasn't done so. That has brought Max Cook right back into play. They're coming through turn 2. It is just a one big traffic jam. Harvey Claridge and Max Cook are staying together. Max Cook lifting up the back markers. This is incredible now. We've got every dynamic going. Max Cook's alongside Harvey Claridge. I thought he was going to go to on the inside. Harvey Claridge, right, now he's been cut by...
Is that contact? Is that contact? He's been pushed off.
Max Cook's through. Max Cook has saved Jamie King's championship challenge, and Harvey Claridge knows it. Dive bombs him at turn 7. Right now then, gloves are off. Max Cook is on the inside. He can't quite get through on Harvey Claridge, which at turn 9. We have not got long left. Max Cook is trying to get the drive. He's not going to do it. Harvey Claridge is going to be the Pit Bike 140 champion across the line. Harvey Claridge has done what he needed to do. Max Cook, 2nd place, 3rd place. Jamie King will come across the line. He will not know that he has just been thwarted, really, of the chance to be champion. There was only 8 points in it. Harvey Claridge needed to score 9 points, more than Jamie King. He scores 25. Jamie King comes home a disheartened 3rd to be 2nd overall. His Pit Bike 140 crown has been pinched from him. Sam Clowes just holds on for 4th place ahead of Sean Whittaker. Elliot Lodge is 6th. 7th place, we should get Simon Clowes, who gives us a wave as he flies on by. Felix Hearn 8th, 9th for Bernie Hook, and Jason Pugh completes the top 10. But we have a new Pit Bike 140 champion in the most dramatic of ways. Harvey Claridge. Unbelievable scenes here.
Well, contact with Jason Pugh nearly put it astray. Max Cook managed to get through on that final lap, but only for the briefest of moments. But the restart then, and the start of the race for the final Pit Bike 140 and Moto Team race of the season. It was Harvey Claridge who got a great start. Matt Cook, starting further back, did manage to get really good progress in that race, but couldn't initially get past Harvey Claridge. Worked so hard over the course of the race, so did Jamie King, but it was not to be, unfortunately. Beaten at the very last race with half a lap to go. That really must be a stinging feeling, but Jamie King is a real great rider and will be back next season for more fantastic action. That is it for the Pit Bike 140 and Moto teams, but all that means there's more fantastic action to come from finals day here, round 8 of the 2018 Cool FAB-Racing British Mini Bike Championships. You're listening live on motorsport.radio, on the Cool FAB-Racing website and on social media. Thank you very much for tuning in to our live coverage here from Tattershall in Lincolnshire. Got a handful of few races still to go. Thank you for your comments. We will read out a few of them in just a few moments' time. Up next will be the Junior LC40 Elites. Well, one category, we had a bit of a surprise earlier on. We had Casey O'Gorman returning to the fold for one race only, but it was Emmanuel Brinton and Evan Belford who start on the front row of the grid, with Ryan Hitchcock and Mason Foster on row 2. Row 3 is Joe Farragher and Sullivan Mounsey, with Josh Bannister, Johnny Garnes, Luca Hopkins and Bailey Stewart Campbell starting in the top 10. James Cook and Troy Jeffrey lining up at the very back of the field. But as they make their way through and round onto the grid, it's going to be a fascinating race to understand whether Emmanuel Brinton will finally get another win here at Cool Fab, or if Evan Belford can take some more success from the Lincolnshire circuit. Only time will tell, but the Junior LC40 Elites are primed on the grid, ready for a race start in just a moment's time. But as the riders make their way then to the front of the grid, we are missing one or two from the front few rows. Shouldn't be too much of a problem though, as we get ready then for the race start. And they look towards the green flag then. The final time in 2018, the Junior LC40 Elites see the green flag. They are racing, and we get underway up towards turn 1 for the first time. This is a 9-lap race, and a good start from the front row. It's a very good start from the front row. Emmanuel Brinton into second place initially, quite close to our race leaders though. Sullivan Mounsey is trying to give it a go as well. Started 6th and made some decent progress. The front runners really doing very well indeed.
Ryan Hitchcock in the lead of this then. Emmanuel Brinton there in second. Johnny Garnis third. Fourth is Casey O'Gorman already from the back of the grid. Casey O'Gorman is flying through the field like a hot knife through butter. He is slicing his way through. We're at turn 7. Short burst up towards turn 8 and 9. Ryan Hitchcock is man to beat at the moment though.
Well, Ryan Hitchcock gave it a good start. Connor Jackson though, your thoughts?
As you say, Hitchcock was really on the fly, made one of the best getaways and all the way around the outside of turn 1 to just take the lead. But as we come now into the second lap, it's so close between the front 4 runners, and it's almost five line to line as we go through into the second and third turn complex.
Left, right, such a quick complex. So many riders all in one pack. It's fantastic racing we have here at Cool FAB-Racing, and Ryan Hitchcock goes to the inside line to defend, but he isn't, because Emmanuel Brinton now into the lead of this race. 4th place, almost changed there. Sullivan Mounsey staying in 3rd place, defending from Casey O'Gorman. Something you don't hear very often. Casey O'Gorman always on the attack, a fantastic rider, champion in this category this season. But into the final 2 corners of this lap, and Ryan Hitchcock maybe trying to size Emmanuel Brinton up. Heading over the line again. It's a long odd run down to turn number 1. Side by side between Brinton and Hitchcock. Hitchcock on the inside line. Emmanuel Brinton though covers it. Still in the lead. 3rd place for Sullivan Mounsey.
Oh yeah.
It's Johnny Garnes in 3rd place. Casey O'Gorman in 4th at the moment. Sullivan Mounsey in 5th.
Hitchcock into the lead, and that was on the exit of turn 1. He just got better drive out of that first turn than Emmanuel Brinton, and Hitchcock is back in the lead. Hitchcock second, Hitchcock leading, Emmanuel Brinton second, excuse me. 3rd is Johnny Garnes. 4th is Sullivan, 4th is Casey O'Gorman. 5th is Sullivan Mounsey. 6th is Mason Foster. We'll get it right in a minute.
But as we continue, Emmanuel Brinton leads Ryan Hitchcock still in second place. Ryan Hitchcock had a fantastic season so far.
I believe
Emmanuel Brinton is still defending and attacking at the same time, second place.
What a move. Casey O'Gorman just sliced through two of them down into that final corner. Sorry to go across, and he's leading already. So Casey O'Gorman, it doesn't take much, does it? He's had enough of all this bearing bashing nonsense he's not used to, and he is in the lead now. Casey O'Gorman flying off in the lead of this race. Ryan Hitchcock there in second. Third is Johnny Garniss. I'm mega impressed with Johnny Garniss. We've seen him have good opening few laps, but this looks like he's in this for the long haul now. He wants a podium in the Junior LC40 Elites.
I'd say this all started a lap ago at about this corner from O'Gornell, who got a great run out of turn 6 to jump up into third. And as Dan said, he just got the drive out of turn 8 onto turn 9 and straight through past Ryan Hitchcock.
He looks like he's going to hold on to it as well. Casey O'Gorman is starting to break clear. Ryan Hitchcock is second, coming through the start and finish area now. Hitchcock second under attack from Johnny Garniss. Garniss falls to the inside line. Down into turn 1, Johnny Garniss, does he get it done on the brakes? He tries, he fails, he's gone out wide. Now that gives Sullivan Mounty a bit of an introduction to that pass. Not this time. I thought Sullivan Mounty was going to take the mickey out the pair of them then, but he wasn't able to do so. So Casey O'Gorman still ahead of Ryan Hitchcock, and then it's Johnny Garniss for Sullivan Mounty. 5th place, Emmanuel Brinton. He was leading a minute ago.
He was leading a minute ago, giving it a good run so far. We've only got 10 runners in this race at the moment, but half of them are all enthralled in this brilliant battle at the head of the field. Ryan Hitchcock second, Johnny Garniss third, ahead of Sullivan Mounty, Emmanuel Brinton and Mason Foster in there. Josh Bannister also not too far away either, so the majority of the race are involved in this battle. But O'Gorman, Garniss, Hitchcock in third, Sullivan Mounty in fourth. He's not, he's in third now, goes up the inside at turn number 1. A great old run through the final corner. There's a rider stops on the left, just exiting turn number 1. It could be James Cook, and they are up and okay. They're just, the bike could be a technical issue again, but now it's Sullivan Mounty in third place. Wait a second, and down has gone Casey O'Gorman. Casey O'Gorman loses the front end. Very uncharacteristic, but this means that Johnny Garniss leads this race. But Casey O'Gorman, when he's had his mishaps, and he has had them, not very often admittedly, but he has been able to come back from them, and Garniss, will he succumb to the pressure of leading this race?
I tell you, please do not rule out Casey O'Gorman. There's still 5 laps this race to go, and he got that lead within 4 laps at the start, remember, and he's right on the back of this tail already.
He's still got more riders to pass though. These guys are going very, very fast now. They're up to speed. Leading this at the moment, Johnny Garniss. It'd be a brilliant way to sign off his campaign in 2018 with a win in the Junior LC40 Elite. Will he do it? We're not sure. Sullivan Mounty's right there as well. It is really anyone's race. Casey O'Gorman looking on the inside. I think that's of Josh Bannister, and he parks it underneath him. Brilliant move there. So where he crashed a lap ago, he makes up for it with a pass on his way back towards the front of this field. So the number 7, the fluorescent yellow number 7, is working his way back up. That's into 6th place now. Johnny Garniss and Sullivan Mounty are going head to head through this final corner, out onto the very, very fast front straight here at Tattershall. Down the straight they go. Sullivan Mounty's got good top end speed. Does he try and move down the inside and make it work? He tries and almost tags Johnny Garniss on the apex, but Garniss gets away with it.
They don't need to rush this. They've still got 2 2/3 of a lap in which to make the manoeuvre, but Garniss leads from Mounty by just under 0.2 of a second. Ryan Hitchcock in third place, 4th Emmanuel Brinton, Mason Foster 5th, O'Gorman in 6th at the moment. No, he's not, he's passed Mason Foster, so into 5th place, still making positions all the time is Casey O'Gorman. Josh Bannister involved in that as well. Luca Hopkins and Joe Farragher, the other runners in this race. 9 runners so far, but with 2 laps left to go into the final 2 corners, and Johnny Garniss still in the pound seat at the moment. Sullivan Mounty desperate for another race victory and could well get it. He's not close enough for a run on this time. They're all setting it up for the final lap and a half.
I tell you who was quickest that last lap though, Casey O'Gorman. After his awful off 2 laps ago, he is straight back on the pace and straight back on the back pack of this leading pack. He's just at the back of 5th now, but he's really hounding the back of Emmanuel Brinton.
Leading Johnny Garniss, bit of chatter going on down there at turn number 5. He was bouncing in there, front end didn't look very stable then. Sullivan Mounty's trying to line up a move. Those 2 have just split that pack. They're starting to stretch clear. Well, Garniss, Mounty, they are the ones going away. Ryan Hitchcock doesn't look like he's got the pace, I must say. Fourth place is now Case O'Gorman. Third place is now Case O'Gorman. Right, okay. Now, here is your challenge, Case O'Gorman. Can you close down 1.3 seconds in one lap? It's the last lap now.
Start the final countdown because this is it. Garners versus Mountie through turns 2 and 3. He's closing, inching ever closer. Sullivan Mountie so confident in the fast flicks at turn 2 and 3 into the infield for the final time as well. Garners has to maintain half a lap's worth of advantage, but Sullivan Mountie's got great traction into turn 5. Can't make a move, but he's been closing. They're being reeled in by Casey O'Gorman in third place. He doesn't want third place, so he wants this race win. He's right on the back of them.
Up towards turn 9. Case O'Gorman's good on the exit of turn 9. He's right with them. Has Johnny Garnis got what it takes to hold on? Case O'Gorman isn't going to be there. Johnny Garnis is going to win one at last. Johnny Garnis wins in a junior LC40 Elite. Sullivan Mountie second. Case O'Gorman fastest lap on the last lap. 0.2 of a second. A blanket finish in the top 3. But Johnny Garnis finally wins a junior LC40 Elite race, and a massive congratulations then from everyone trackside, the big crowd here today. Fourth place Ryan Hitchcock. Emmanuel Brinton is in fifth place. Sixth for Mason Foster, Josh Bannister, Luca Hopkins, Joe Farragher are your finishers. James Cook in 10th but did not finish the race.
So unfortunate there for James Cook, and we'll be looking forward to having more of that in the next season. There's a bit of a donut going on for Johnny Garnis, doing a big old wheel spin just on the entrance to the paddock, celebrating in front of the great crowd here at Tattershall. But the final junior LC40 Elite race of the season, it went a bit like this. Moving away for the first time, it was a great start by Emmanuel Brinton, but Ryan Hitchcock an even better start over the line for the first few times. Up the inside they fought so close in order to get these positions, but in the end it would go the way, well, it went the way not Casey O'Gorman, because Casey O'Gorman got a great start, but then falling in dramatic style. He's done that a few times, been able to come back from it, and still got onto the podium. 37 thousandths of a second is the next, was the gap between the three of them. But it's Ryan Grant who decides to start from pole position in the senior mini motos. The next race here at round 8 of the 2018 Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bike Championship.
This is the Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bikes Championship, the official partner series to the BSB.
And then to the grid for the senior mini motos. They provided us with some of the best action all season from the adults racing. Ryan Grant will start from pole position, wheeled on by the fan club for one final time in 2018, with Josh Birkin lining up alongside on the front row of the grid. Richard Holmes Williams and Chris Yeomans are on row 2 ahead of Simon Huntingford and Nick Bennett, with Bernie Hook and Matt Birkin on the final row of the grid. There are 8 starters. Of course, Bernie Hook using Andy Whedon's Evo bike, which he explained to us earlier just before lunch how wonderful the bike was. Really propelled into a fantastic result earlier on this morning. But this is another one of our championship battles, and as they make their way into the grid now, and we are about to get underway with the race start. The senior mini motos live on motorsport.radio and on the Cool Fab Racing website. The final round of the senior mini motos gets underway. It's a fantastic start from Matt Birkin, propelling himself into 4th place already from the back row of the grid. But as they make their way through turns 1 and 2 for the first time, it wasn't such a great start for Ryan Grant, but it was for Richard Holmes Williams, leading this race at the moment. And, well, he leads by 24 points. He needs 1 point in order to win the championship, and at the moment he would get more than that over Ryan Grant.
Richard Holmes Williams leading Ryan Grant. That is your championship battle. Of course, Richard Holmes Williams could always DNF and then Ryan Grant could win, and that would be the ultimate plot twist. But at the moment,
don't tempt fate,
has not happened. Ryan Grant is going up the inside of him. No, they're going to touch, surely. Matt Birkin almost getting involved as well, but Ryan Grant forcefully bashing his way through into the lead. and takes that position back. Richard Holmes-Williams has got Matt Birkin for company now. So, Richard Holmes-Williams, he may be your championship-elect, your champion-elect, but he is not having it.
And he's gone down.
He's gone down. He is definitely not having it all his own way.
But he's back up and on the bike. He's back into the race. What did you say 50 seconds ago? He could DNF. There could be a real curveball.
He's all right. He's back up, though. He's in 8th place. That will still be good enough for the for the championship, unless he does something else very silly.
Just stop talking, Kiko Giles, because he's going to come in. Knowing our luck, he'll fly into the commentary box and come and punch us.
Ryan Grant still leads 4 now. That's all I'm saying.
Ryan Grant leads this race. Matt Birkin had a fantastic start into 2nd place in a lap and a half. Now almost challenging for the race lead. Over the line once again. Ryan Grant has got a real pressure from behind. Matt Birkin in 2nd place. Bernie Hook on that Evo bike doing really well in 3rd ahead of Martin Glossop. Chris Yeomans, Josh Birkin, Simon Huntingford, top 7. Richard Holmes-Williams a little further behind.
As you say, Matt Birkin is just chasing down Ryan Grant now, but of course Grant knows more than ever that this victory is absolutely vital for his championship. No matter what happens to Holmes-Williams today, he needs that win, and no matter what Birkin can do, it will all be about the race result.
It's essential. Ryan Grant can't win this championship unless he does his part, which is a win. At the moment, he's doing just that, but Richard Holmes-Williams is in 8th place now. That's not enough for the championship to go the way of Ryan Grant. He'd be 7 points short. It's not all done yet, though. Ryan Grant still leads Matt Birkin. 3rd place is Bernie Hook, having a great day racing. Bernie Hook for the number 0. Martin Glossop there 4th, and Chris Yeomans in 5th. So they go down to turn 1. Ryan Grant still in the lead of this race for Matt Birkin.
As you say, Hook setting the fastest lap.
And he's through. Sorry to interrupt you there, Connor, but through was going Matt Birkin. Had a great run out of turn 1. Got overtaken as soon as I cut over you going into turn number 3. But the transition, he had such a fantastic slingshot run out of turn 2. Took the lead. Then is retaken, but almost is going to lose out to Bernie Hook, who's got the fastest lap on that slightly modified bike. It's a 4-way battle for the race lead. Martin Glossop on the back of this as well.
As you say, 4-bike battle for the lead now. Hook really on momentum now. I was about to say he was setting the fastest lap. First rider under the 50-second mark, and he is the one to watch coming over the line now. They are on fire, these bikes.
Ryan Grant leading the way from Matt Birkin, and it is Bernie Hook still with the fastest lap of the race down into turn 1. Matt Birkin, all stations are normal. Ryan Grant leading. And is he? Matt Birkin got a good run through there, but he didn't quite get it done through turn 2. The long left-hander before the right-handed flick through turns 3 and 4. Matt Birkin cuts to the inside, but doesn't quite get it done there. Ryan Grant still leading this race from Matt Birkin. Then it's Bernie Hook. Then it is Martin Glossop in 4th place, as I look down on the timing monitor just to double check that. What a battle this is. 4-way scrap for the lead. 5th place is Josh Birkin, then it's Chris Yeomans, and Rich Holmes-Williams there 7th, keeping himself out of any trouble. 4 now, back Marker City. We could do without that as they come to the final corner. Ryan Grant leads.
As you were saying with Holmes-Williams, he is slowly working his way back up the order, but up at the front though, Bernie Hook on the move. Just trying to get the move into turn 1. I don't think he's done it. He's run slightly wide and will stick in 3rd place just behind Matt Birkin.
Definitely had a look, and I think Martin Glossop was getting a little bit impatient then as well. Everyone just using all their corner speed on Ryan Grant. Down into turn 5 now. Ryan Grant holding on. 4 now. You couldn't get much close. You can't get a cigarette paper between the front and rear wheels of 1st, 2nd and 3rd as they come down. Bernie Hook dive bombs Matt Birkin. That's at turn 7. Beautiful little move there. Block pass, and that means that Bernie Hook is in 2nd place. No way through for Matt Birkin to retaliate. Now it's all for the lead. Ryan Grant versus the rest of them.
And Bernie Hook's bike, Andy Whedon's Evo bike, really working well for Bernie Hook. He's looking towards the inside, going up the inside, potentially at turn number 1. They stay line astern. He thinks better of it. Ryan Grant covers the right-hand side, leaves it a bit loose, side by side. Bernie Hook into the lead with a great move up the inside, but then Matt Birkin also tries to go up the inside, loses out 4 places. They're both 2 lots of side by side at the same corner, and in all of this, Bernie Hook does somehow just managed to hold on the lead. Second place to Ryan Grant, third place to Matt Birkin. Martin Glossop almost got 2 places out of it, couldn't get any further ground. He's trying to go for an inside at turn number 7. That isn't working. Meanwhile, Richard Holmes-Williams update. He's now into 5th place ahead of Chris Yeomans. Whatever Ryan Grant does, this is not going to be enough to win the championship. It is going to go the way of Richard Holmes-Williams with 3 laps left to run.
As it stands, I'm glad you added that on. Ryan Grant retakes the lead and takes it down into turn 1 ahead of Bernie Hook. Gets it stopped very, very well as well. Bernie Hook looking to carry the speed through turn 2. This is where he's so strong. He's riding around the outside. He ain't going to do it that time, though. Matt Birkin there in 3rd, 4th place for Martin Glossop. What a race this is. Absolute thriller here. Ryan Grant blocking off Bernie Hook down into turn 5, and that gives Matt Birkin a chance. They come together over the grass. Doing the scrimming there was... it was Bernie Hook as they come through. Wave of apology, I hope it was anyway, from Matt Birkin to Bernie Hook. Absolutely phenomenal racing here, and that's just given Ryan Grant the half a second he needed.
As you say, do not rule out Bernie Hook, though. The grip he has through turn 2 and 3 is phenomenal, and I think the grip he has on his bike in general is better than the rest of the runners. We do have a pitter. I believe that might be Elliot Lodge, but up at the front, it is still Ryan Grant leading.
I think Elliot Lodge is still circulating right at
Could
the
be
back
Josh
of
Birkin.
it. I think
from
it's
8th
Josh
place.
Birkin. It's one of them down the back end of the grid. Either way, and through has gone Martin Glossop. So Martin Glossop has now gone into, I think that's 2nd place. He's gone through into 2nd place. So Martin Glossop not wasting time here. Matt Birkin back down to 4th. 3rd place now is Bernie Hook, but still leading is Ryan Grant. He hasn't been affected until now, right? Oh, Ryan Grant, I was going to say get defended because Martin Glossop was about to have you for lunch then, down at turn number 7.
Turn number 7, this is about to start the final lap in the slipstream. It's going to be a long odd run down the back straight, but Ryan Grant had it over the line, still got it over the line. It's side by side. Bernie Hook with the fastest lap. He's into 2nd place at the moment, only just still retains it going into turn number 1, so it might not be the battle for the race lead anymore. He is closing up to Ryan Grant though, through turn 2, through turn 3. Martin Glossop stuck in there. Matt Birkin down to 4th place, but it is all for the lead at the moment. Ryan Grant is just about holding on. A late move maybe going to be coming from Bernie Hook, who's desperate for the race lead up the inside, coming into turn 6. Can't make it work.
Ryan Grant leading, Bernie Hook 2nd, Martin Glossop 3rd, Matt Birkin 4th. It's going to be one of these 4 unless an absolute catastrophe happened. We're on the final lap. We're into the penultimate corner of this championship now. Ryan Grant is going to do his bit. He's going to try and take this win. It looks like he's got it done. Ryan Grant takes the win. 2nd for Bernie Hook. 3rd is Martin Glossop. 4th is Matt Birkin. We await 5th place Richard Holmes-Williams. He is going to be champion. He tries wheeling once, twice. He's doing a wonderful wheelie down into the final corner. Richard Holmes-Williams is the champion at last. He made us all wait, but in the end it was good enough. 6th place goes to Chris Yeomans. 7th will be Simon Huntingford, and Elliot Lodge has already crossed the line a lap down in 8th. Josh Birkin was the retiree. So Richard Holmes-Williams is your champion, and Ryan Grant wins, I think we said this earlier, probably the best senior mini-moto race of the year.
There's been some great senior mini-moto races as well. So highlights then of this race. The 3rd and final race of the weekend for the senior mini-motos was a great start then from Ryan Grant and Richard Holmes-Williams, really getting involved into turn 1 and throughout the course of the race. Matt Birkin also had a good move, but then Richard Holmes-Williams down controversially, and he did continue into this race, did score, of course, that championship victory, and a great win there for Richard Holmes-Williams. A great battle though for the race lead. 3-4 bikes really all getting stuck in throughout the course of the race. 3 wide at some points, really got envious and nervous of some of these points. Nonetheless though, Ryan Grant wins the race, but Richard Holmes-Williams wins the championship, and it's the AC40 rookies now who come in with their fantastic race. It's Kiko Jarzen with the grid.
Samuel Munson, the pole hound of this championship, is on pole position. I think that is his 6th pole of the year. He has been absolutely phenomenal. Ruben Bray is in 2nd place. Vernon Werity is 3rd. 4th for Charlie Huntingford. Warwick Brady there in 5th. He'll be looking to sign off his year with a very, very good result. 6th place for Ollie Horner. Ollie Sims 7th, William Harris is 8th, Archie Gibbs 9th, Henry McCartney completing your top 10. Blake Wilson 11th ahead of Max Werrity. Harry Payne in 13th place ahead of Elliot Jones. Luke Fitchett there in 15th ahead of Joshua Williams, and Luke Schofield rounds out the entire grid. That's 17 riders. There's 8 laps. Each lap is a kilometre, an 8-kilometre race. We are going to be in for some fireworks here, and of course we have the small matter of second place in this championship to deal with.
Well, we'll cover that in just a few moments. You're listening to live coverage of round 8 of the 2018 Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bike Championship. This is the final round of the season. We've got 4 more races to go to end the 2018 Cool Fab Racing season, live from Tattershall in Lincolnshire. Thank you for all of your comments on social media. It's great to see who you're supporting over the course of this race weekend, and we do hope you do join us again next season for the next set of fantastic championships. 2019 set to be bigger and better than ever, but the determination on these young riders, these are some of the stars of the future, and of course we are the official partner series to the BSB, and we're on the road to MotoGP. So the riders just making sure they have got all the engines on, making sure they're revving up, ready for the race start. Marshall's just helping to make sure everyone's started up correctly. It might be Henry McCartney though, with a slight issue. Marshall's so happy that the engine's ready and raring to go, and they look towards the green flag then. And it's not, as the Marshals move from the sides of the circuit. It is not when the green flag goes up, it's when it goes down. We're about to go racing in the AC40 rookies. Revs are up, revs are down, we get underway with this race. It's a good start as they make their way into turn number 1 for the first time out of 8. Who's it going to be? Samuel Munson gets a good start from the front row of the grid. A few following though, and it's 2 riders for the battle in the race lead. Everyone else seems to be content squabbling for 3rd place at the moment. 1 or 2 getting away with a slight technical problem, but a great scrap at the very front of the field. It's Munson versus Ruben Bray.
So this gives me flashbacks to the race 2 earlier today with these guys. Ruben Bray really on the attack now with Munson, and I think he'll be determined this time to actually get the better of him as we go up to the run to turn 8. It does look like Bray does seem the more steady on his bike.
Ruben Bray is in the running for 2nd place in this championship. If he wins, then Ollie Horner has to be 5th place or lower for Ruben Bray to be 2nd. Ollie Horner, just to confirm, has to be in the top 4 no matter what Ruben Bray does, and he will be there in the 2nd place in the runners-up position. But Ruben Bray, Samuel Munson, Ollie Horner, Warwick Brady and Charlie Hunting for your top 5.
Well, that's a great run so far. Ruben Bray often does get a good start, but as they continue on with this race so far, it's 0.3 of a second between Bray and Munson. They make their way into the infield for the 2nd time out of 8. They're challenging very closely. Ruben Bray has had some great success in the early stages of this season. Samuel Munson been good from the get-go, but had a few little niggles here and there. Henry McCartney was the original real dominant force in this championship, but then it carried on.
Bray, of course, leading this race. However, Horner is chasing them down. He has pulled away from the pack behind, and as Bray and Munson squabble themselves over the front of the grid, it's interesting to see just how much Horner could close him. However, I do eat my words in that case. He has lost time in that lap, 2 seconds actually, to Ruben Bray up front, and he will need to pull back if he is to reclaim 2nd in the championship.
I think Ollie Horner's just doing what he needs to do. There's contact then with Samuel Munson and Ruben Bray. Munson tried going around the outside of Ruben Bray, wasn't able to do so. So Ruben Bray, still your race leader, only just though I say that, because Munson hasn't quite gone just yet. Munson is still there, trying to go around the outside again. Munson, I'll tell you what, he's going a long way around. Start having to have words with him about that. He's very late on the brakes. I've got to say, Munson making me look on edge.
The battle for 4th is just as intense though. Warwick Brady currently leads a pack of 4 with Charlie Huntingford, Henry McCartney and Finnan Werrity all battling for that position. It's also very close behind, 3 more riders chasing them down. It could be very tense in the closing laps as we look away from the battle for 1st.
Ruben Bray is in the lead of this now, still there. Samuel Munson 2nd, but with the fastest lap of the race. That has come on their first clean lap. So it is still very, very close. There's nothing between them. Ollie Horner doing what he needs to do, having a lonely race in third, but a lonely race in third is good enough for runner-up overall.
Ollie Horner, as you mentioned, third place, just staying where he needs to be. He's 6 seconds behind Samuel Munson, but 4 seconds ahead of Warwick Brady. He's got Henry McCartney for company, as well as Charlie Huntingford and Finn and Werrity. That battle really starting to close in now, and they've been a really enjoyable one to watch. It used to be 4 for the championship if you put your minds back a good 3 rounds ago, but then as the championship started to come to a close, that battle really did close in as well. But that's not to say the entertainment still isn't there, because they've had such a great season. All of them are on lap 4 now, around about half distance, and it's almost half a second between Bray and Munson.
Munson just gone through on Ruben Bray. That's at turn 3 and 4. So Samuel Munson, now he's got clear track. Will he be able to pull away? We shall see. They're in the infield, turn 6. We've got a rider down on the far side of the course. He's up and okay. Yellow flag's waving. That is at turn 9, the exit of turn 9. Samuel Munson needs Ruben Bray. At the moment, that'll do Ollie Horner's second place in the championship a whole load of good.
So that is good for Ollie Horner. Remains in third. Probably won't be thinking about it too much until the checkered flag falls. But Samuel Munson really does enjoy a good victory at the moment, does this young rider. Looking forward to him coming back next season here, the Cool FAB-Racing
the leader's off.
Championship. And he's gone down, my goodness me. In such dramatic circumstances, he's gone down.
We will give up commentary curses one day. I can't actually say when, but Samuel Munson has gone down. Just as you were saying, Dan, about him fancying wins lately and looking good. He's been great to watch. Samuel Munson goes and drops it. Unbelievable scene. I've been quite innocent this weekend. I haven't done anything wrong.
You've had mostly Connor to deal with. I've had my fair share now. But as we continue in this race, it's Ruben Bray leading from Ollie Horner and Charlie Huntingford. Ruben Bray will get an increased bumper of points, I suppose, for being in the lead as opposed to second and third.
As you say, Bray will be all about taking as many points as he can to Horner, but that incident into the first corner, Bray had got the run on Munson, and he did look likely to take the position, or at least challenge him into the first corner. I don't know if Munson was unsighted or whether they made contact. It's hard to see from this angle, but Munson was down, he's back up, and he is running around now, back in the midfield at the lower end of the top 10.
Over the line they go. And it's Ruben Bray, 10 seconds ahead of Ollie Horner. A fantastic gap so far. Charlie Huntingford in third, ahead of Henry McCartney and Samuel Munson, the 2 fighters earlier on this season. They've had some brilliant scraps over the season, and this is lining up to be yet another one of them. But there's not an awful long time in this race left to go. 2.5 laps. It's Ruben Bray leading, but can Samuel Munson claw many points back?
Charlie Huntingford in third place. What a good ride that is. Yet again, had a podium yesterday in race 1. He's on course for another one here, and he's riding very, very well. He's miles clear of everyone else. Fourth place at the moment. It looks to me like Henry McCartney, Samuel Munson trying to get round him. Fourth and fifth there. So Samuel Munson, is he setting his sights on a potential podium? I don't think he's going quite close enough, but I can see Simon Huntingford jumping around with joy opposite our commentary position. His son is doing so well. Charlie Huntingford buried himself under the fairing, under the screen to do anything he can. We've got 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go. Ruben Bray leads. 12 seconds now is the gap. They're increasing it by seconds a lap. That is a very large amount to increase it by, even in the AC40 rookies. Ollie Horner second ahead of Charlie Huntingford. McCartney's now only 3 tenths ahead of Munson. But we've got Blake Wilson, Warwick Brady, Ollie Sims, Finn and Werrity and William Harris are top 10. And that sort of gaggle, 6th through to 10th, all covered by about a second or so. That's turning out to be a real fantastic battle right at the end of this.
As you say, that battle in the midfield has been developing all race, and I don't think it'll stop until the finish, but we are coming up to the end now, and Ruben Bray has just dominated this end of the race.
Ruben Bray has been absolutely superb here today. Yet again, another win it'll be for young Ruben Bray. He's one of the youngest as well. He is one of the youngest in this class. Classy act. He hopefully will be around for next year. It'd be such a shame not to have him back. He's going to be a future star, I'm sure, just as is Samuel Munson. But Ruben Bray turn 7. We're on the last lap. Through there, now up to turn 8. The flick left, now into the right that hooks you back round to the end of this lap. the final race winner of the AC40 Rookies Championship, Ruben Bray, takes victory here at Tattershall. Second place will be Ollie Horner, not just on the road but also in the championship. Third place should be Charlie Huntingford. We're waiting on him to come through. I can see Simon Huntingford going mad. Ollie Horner is second. Charlie Huntingford, is he going to come through? Yes, he is. Third place and another podium. So Charlie Huntingford takes third. Much to the delight of his dad. Samuel Munson is fourth, ahead of Henry McCartney, Blake Wilson, Warwick Brady, Ollie Sims, Finn and Werity and William Harris, your top 10. But your final AC40 Rookies winner of the week, of the weekend, of the day, of the entire Cool Fab 2018 year in this class, Ruben Bray. Ollie Horner second and Charlie Huntingford a well-earned, a hard-earned and much-deserved third.
What a great result there for Ruben Bray. A great win. A shame Samuel Munson was only in fourth place in the end, was dead on course for the victory right in the middle until I opened my mouth, unfortunately. But Ruben Bray the winner, ahead of Ollie Horner and Charlie Huntingford. That is your podium. Samuel Munson in fourth place there. Not a bad way to end your title winning campaign. Henry McCartney in fifth place. Another great result for Henry. And then we are just moments away from the Mini GP50s here. Round 8 of the 2018 Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bike Championships.
The original and best British Championships for mini bikes. This is Cool Fab Racing.
Right, so the Mini GP50s head to the circuit. Connor Jackson has the grid.
Indeed, it's Ryan Hitchcock on pole position. He'll be hoping for better luck this race after almost taking the win last time out. Eddie O'Shea in second place. Harrison Crosby will be third, ahead of Mason Johnson, Dylan Mellor, Emmanuel Brenton, Lucas Brown and Ollie Walker. Rounding out the top 10 is Carl Payne and Alfie Davidson. Behind them, Alessandro Valente, Harrison Mackay, James Cook, Josh Bannister, Taylor Stewart Campbell near the back with Thomas Gomez, Cameron Soule and Ben Joliffe.
So a good grid there, and we wait then for the race start. 12 laps will decide who wins the final race of the 2018 Mini GP50 Championship. And as they make their way onto the grid, the revs start to build. Listening to live coverage of round 8 of the 2018 Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bike Championships on motorsport.radio, on the Cool Fab Racing website and on social media. Thank you very much for joining us. You're about to hear fantastic racing from the Mini GP50s as they make their way down towards turn 1 for the first time then out of 12. It's a good start from Ryan Hitchcock in the lead of this race. Eddie O'Shea into second place. Third place is the number, it looks like it's one of the Mellors. It's number 31 of Dylan Mellor then into third place. Fourth place at the moment, very close as well. Lucas Brown getting involved with that. Then Mason Johnson storming wide already, making a position on the number 69 rider. That is, well, that continues on in this race then, and it's Harrison Crosby who's been losing out 1 position, losing out 2 position, losing out 3 position, losing out more because he's been overtaken by Ollie Walker and a whole host of other riders. But 1 lap completed, just about to come over the line, and your race leader is going to be over the line now. Ryan Hitchcock, 0.177 ahead of Eddie O'Shea, Dylan Mellor, Lucas Brown and Mason Johnson. That's the top 5.
Keep your eyes on Eddie O'Shea. This is exactly what he did in race 1. Didn't push too hard early doors, but was right there towards the end when he needed to be, and he nicked it right at the death. So, another good race in prospect. Eddie O'Shea has come alive so much in the second half this season. I cannot wait to see how he performs next year already. But Ryan Hitchcock leading Eddie O'Shea. Dylan Mellor third. Lucas Brown in fourth. Mason Johnson fifth, who's on the podium in race one, of course, as well. So keep your eyes in that top five.
Well, eyes firmly on the top five at the moment. Josh Bannister in sixth, holding off Ollie Walker on the last lap. May well have changed over the course of the last lap. But Hitchcock side by side with Eddie O'Shea, and Eddie O'Shea is through even before turn number one. Eddie O'Shea takes the race lead ahead of Ryan Hitchcock. Dylan Mellor now sizing up Ryan Hitchcock's second place. It looks like he might fit in pretty well, actually, but Ryan Hitchcock back on the attack, wants the race lead back coming into turn number three. The right-hander, it's a very quick complex into turn four. Eddie O'Shea defending well, really can place the bike very well. Can Eddie, confident, very confident. You don't necessarily need to defend too aggressively, it's just about holding the line properly.
As you say, O'Shea has really got a grip of the bike now, but Hitchcock is all over the back of him. He is making firm efforts into the back of the leader. However, in fourth place, Lucas Brown is just falling away slightly, with Mason Johnson, who recently set the fastest lap, chasing him down. Up at the front, though, it's three for the lead into the turn one, but Eddie O'Shea keeps it honest, with Hitchcock pounding him on the back.
Eddie O'Shea leading, Hitchcock second. It was close there, but Dylan Mellor looks like he could be the mover and shaker in this group here. I think Dylan Mellor's on for a very good result here. Yet to win this year. I think he could well be doing it today if he keeps it upright. He's in the mix. He was in the mix in race one as well. So Dylan Mellor's got a good turn of form. The Mellor family having a fantastic meeting here at Tattershall, signing off the season very, very well indeed. Runs a bit wide there though. Out of turn 7 up towards turn 8 and 9. Eddie O'Shea still leading down towards the final corner. This is the most important corner on the whole track, because you've got to get a good run out of there down the straight. Very, very important if you want to do a late braking move like Dylan Mellor's thinking about doing. Did he get it done? Not this time. Dylan Mellor not able to quite get the move sorted. But through turn 2, Eddie O'Shea still leads Ryan Hitchcock. Dylan Mellor third, Lucas Brown is fourth. Mason Johnson has a look up the inside at turn 3, but can't do it. He's in fifth. Sixth place, to me, looks like Josh Bannister. Now, that is a good start. Josh Bannister came from 14th on the grid. Can you believe that he's already in 6th place? 7th place, I think that belongs to Ollie Walker, and then it's Carl Payne.
As you say, but while you were saying that, the battle for second heated up. It was a move by Hitchcock into what was turn 4, but he didn't quite get the drive off the corner, and Mellor is all over the back of him as both of them now come onto the home straight. Mellor has the advantage into turn 1. Surely he can outbrake him. Or has
No,
Hitchcock keeps the position. What a braking manoeuvre from Hitchcock there.
It's about battle of the late breakers. It's all about being late on the brakes, but you cannot lose your momentum, because if you're too late on the brakes, you may as well just not be bothering at all. Emmanuel Brinton down in 9th place has got the fastest lap of this race, so that just shows the pace. We are going to have a big group in a minute. They're covered by about 3 seconds. Here it's absolutely head to tail.
The battle for fourth is becoming the battle for the lead. Josh Bannister has just taken his pack behind him, and because Eddie O'Shea is just holding up Ryan Hitchcock and Dylan Mellor ever so slightly, it has allowed Bannister, Brown, Walker, etc. to all come into this battle for the lead now.
4.8 seconds was the gap back to Emmanuel Brinton. It is now just 4 seconds, so Emmanuel Brinton is still flying, and he's just done another fastest lap of the race. So keep your eyes on Emmanuel Brinton. We've got 7 laps to go. There's plenty of time left in this race just yet. Plenty of time as well for Eddie O'Shea to lose the lead, because Ryan Hitchcock is all over the back of him. Dylan Mellor there in 3rd place. Josh Bannister in 4th. Great ride from Josh Bannister. Who would have seen this coming from where or so far back on the grid, down in 14th place.
Well, making great progress at the moment. Eddie O'Shea still, though, leads this race. 0.231 was the gap coming over the line the last time. They're about to start the half distance, complete the 6th racing lap at the moment. And Eddie O'Shea, well, there we go. Lap completed. Now 0.472 ahead of Ryan Hitchcock. Dylan Mellor about half a second behind as well. But now they've got a few other riders in this race to contend with just in front of them, and they're going to have to work their way around. This can be, when the trouble starts to introduce, a whole whole load of time. Eddie O'Shea just gets stuck behind them at turn number 3 into turn 4 and the run down to the first hairpin. Eddie O'Shea does hold on to the lead, but it's been hard. Ryan Hitchcock right on the back. Dylan Mellor also used it to great advantage, but crucially Josh Bannister has also followed them through, so now can join part of this train as well as Ollie Walker. The battle's not been too interrupted, but it's helped close things up just a little.
Lucas Brown on the grass there as he was coming out turn 7. That's how far wide he got pushed because of the traffic. So across the line, let's see what it is. Eddie O'Shea's got a bit of a gap this time over Ryan Hitchcock. Dylan Mellor 3rd, Josh Bannister 4th. Does it stay like that down into turn 1? Yes, it does. Ollie Walker 5th. So we've got a breakaway group of 5 now. 6th place for Lucas Brown, Mason Johnson 7th, Kyle Payne in 8th, and Emmanuel Brinton there in 9th. So Emmanuel Brinton's progress has now been halted just because of the traffic they had to get around. So annoying for Brinton, but we've got a good top quality group of top 5 in our sights here. We've got Marshall's running down to turn 1. What has happened down there?
No yellow flag it seems at the moment, so it's all fine. There was a small piece of debris that had come off one of the bikes. That seems to be fine though. Eddie O'Shea half a second clear of Ryan Hitchcock. Dylan Mellor 3rd ahead of Josh Bannister. Then it's Walker, Brown, Johnson, Payne and Brinton. Alfie Davidson in 10th at the moment. Crosby in 11th with James Cook 12th. 13th for Thomas Gomez, 14th for McKay and 15th for Ben Jolly, Taylor Stewart, Campbell and Cameron Sewell a lap down at the moment, but Eddie O'Shea holding on. Good run. Second place is a little bit more consistent with Hitchcock, but 3rd place is the one that's really being fought. Josh Bannister in the critical final step on the podium, but goes really quite wide indeed, and he loses out in fact to Dylan Mellor. It seems like he managed to get quite a good run through
Mason
that corner.
Johnson's down. Mason Johnson's gone down, lost the front at turn 5. So bike's cut out, he kicks it as well. That ain't going to help it, Mason. Come on. What is he doing? Picks his visor up. Unlucky for Mason Johnson there. Marshall's running. Back at the front though. Eddie O'Shea's gap is coming down. And Josh Bannister's now in 2nd place. Unbelievable. So Josh Bannister, I have to keep referring to the grid. I still can't believe 14th on the grid, up to 2nd. If he wins this, it's got to be the best race win in this class all year. Josh Bannister has got his sights set on the lead. If he can do it, he surely will now. He's come so far back to where he needs to be. Josh Bannister looking for that win. Eddie O'Shea though out to prevent it.
I believe that was as a result of Hitchcock and Mellor fighting. Hitchcock down to 5th, Mellor down to 4th. It's not been a good second half of the race for those two, as Ollie Walker's up to 3rd now behind Bannister.
Be interesting to see whether or not Eddie O'Shea's got a response should Josh Bannister go through. They're coming down through the final corner now, across the line. Eddie O'Shea has got Josh Bannister for company here in the braking area for turn 1. Who's it going to be? Eddie O'Shea tips in first. Ollie Walker there still in 3rd place. Josh Bannister still riding very, very well in 2nd. It really is anyone's race with a lap and a bit to go.
A lap and a bit to go. You say it's anyone's race. Eddie O'Shea, though, is at the very head of it, and he is as determined as ever to take another race victory. Ollie Walker in 3rd place, challenging for 2nd place with Josh Bannister. So whatever Josh can do, Ollie Walker thinks he can do better coming into the infield, through the infield for the penultimate time in this race. But the number 114 is in position 1, leading this race. 1 lap left to go through the penultimate corner and about to cross the line. Eddie O'Shea has got one more lap to record yet another victory in the Mini GP 50s. Josh Bannister though with a great run in that last lap. They were just 1/10 separated in lap times. Ollie Walker though determined for that final step on the podium. This is going to be where the real battle comes into.
Eddie O'Shea leading Josh Bannister. Now then, where's left? There's turn 5. That's an opportunity, but I don't think Josh Bannister's close enough to do it there. That's a hairpin. They're in there now. Eddie O'Shea's leading Josh Bannister. Ollie Walker's there waiting to pick up the pieces should there be any left for him. We're at turn 6. There's another opportunity gone. Down into turn 7. It's all very one line through here. Eddie O'Shea, I think, has got enough in hand here. Josh Bannister's going to take a massive run out through this last corner to do it. Penultimate corner of the year for this class. Josh Bannister's closing and closing. Eddie O'Shea's got it. I think they're coming to the line. Josh Bannister dives to the inside, but Eddie O'Shea gets it. How close was that? Eddie O'Shea gets it. Josh Bannister 2nd, the best 2nd I think we have ever seen, and Ollie Walker 3rd. Dylan Mellor is 4th. Emmanuel Brinton fights back to 5th with the fastest lap of the race. Ryan Hitchcock should be 6th. 7th for Kyle Payne. James Cook will be in 8th place. 9th for Harrison Crosby, and Alfie Davidson will round out the top 10. But Eddie O'Shea, what a win. That kid has come on form in the second half of this campaign.
Highlights on of the Mini GP 50 race, the final race of the season for the Mini GP 50s, and Eddie O'Shea really has come into his own, as Kiko Giles suggests. The number 114 rider really grown in stature over the last few race meetings. Another great victory to add to the tally, starting with the start, of course. Really looked towards the line. It was a great start from Ryan Hitchcock, and Ryan Hitchcock once again doing a fantastic job to get into the lead of the race. And well, it's pretty good for Eddie O'Shea. He battled very hard to try and get into the lead and defended it with pretty much everything that he could. Really wanted to have that race victory. And so Eddie O'Shea winner ahead of Josh Bannister, Ollie Walker then in third place. De La Mella, Emmanuel Brinton with the fastest lap in fifth place. Hitchcock, Payne, Cook, Crosby and Davidson. That's your final top 10 for them of the season. Thomas Gomez, Mason Johnson, Harrison McKay, Lucas Brown, Ben Jolly for the top 15, Cameron Saul and Taylor Stewart Campbell round out the 17 strong order. And as you can see, we've got a few more guests coming to join us here
very
in the commentary
established
box.
Guests as
Some
well.
very established guests, as you say, Kiko Giles. I think we all know who this young man is by this point. Hello, Sullivan Mounsey.
Hi guys.
So, how has your race meeting gone?
It's been amazing just coming here to Cool Fab, and I just wanted to come and say thank you ever so much for commentating for this year.
That's very kind
It's
of
been
you.
amazing.
Well, thank you very much, but you've been providing the great racing that we've been talking about, so really we need to thank you.
Well, you don't really, because if it wasn't for my mum and dad and all my sponsors, I couldn't have done it without them.
That's very, very true. A lot of people forget that bit. Well done.
Very big thank you to all of the parents, because the amount of effort and time they put in so we can all go racing. We're very quickly going to go then to the start of the Extreme 200s. We will come back to you, Sullivan, don't you? Well, you can come and join us in the commentary box for once. Come and talk about this race with us. So, Charlie Nesbitt and Richard Holmes-Williams, that's your front row of the grid. Brandon Perrell and Martin Glossop are on row 2. Elliot Dufton, Felix Hearn, Harvey Claridge, and then it's Kier Armstrong, Ash Barnes and Josh Ingram. They round out the top 10 with Callum Wybrow, Josh Watley, Alex Vella, and then Blake, Tom Whedon, Jamie King and Blake Ansell. That is the full grid, and they are about to get racing. We look towards the green flag then, as 12 laps we have in store for the final Extreme 200 race of the season. This is going to be a real powerhouse, live on Motorsport Radio, on the Cool Fab Racing website and on social media. We are underway with the Extreme 200s into turn 1 for the first time. That's a good start by Charlie Nesbitt. You couldn't really predict anything else. Richard Holmes-Williams in second place at the moment as they make their way through turns 2 and 3 for the first time out of 12. Brandon Perrell, they will definitely want to go out with a good result so far, holding on around about 4th place at the moment.
He's in 4th, he was 4th, he's now 5th. Elliot Dufton comes through on him there in 3rd place. Martin Glossop now, he will be looking to try and get back on that podium. Rich Holmes-Williams giving chase to Charlie Nesbitt now in the first race of the day. We saw Charlie Nesbitt lead Rich Holmes-Williams, so Rich Holmes-Williams went down. So will he do the same again today? I do not know. But across the line, let's take him through for the first time. Charlie Nesbitt leads Rich Holmes-Williams. 3rd place over the line. Looks to me like Martin Glossop, but it's Elliot Dufton by the time they've tipped into turn 1. So Elliot Dufton has got 3rd place. Martin Glossop 4th. Brandon Perrell, the yellow Perrell, is in 5th place. 6th place is Kier Armstrong. Someone's gone the shortcut route there at turn, well, not really at turn 1. They've took the shortcut opposite our commentary position. It looks like there's a problem with the bike, but rider is okay. All that's damaged is his pride. But talking of pride of Cool Fab, brilliant results this weekend, especially for you, Johnny. You had a great win in the Junior LC40 Elite. How did it feel?
Yeah, it felt good. It was quite nervous because I heard a lot of bikes behind me, but I managed to keep the lead, and that was good.
Good. How does it feel in the AC40 Pros? Because you were battling with Mason as well, and the championship's not gone your way, but, you know, it's been a good year for race wins and everything.
Yeah, I was quite gutted that I broke my collarbone at Red Lodge, I had a bit of a tear on the way back home because I wanted to win a championship. Because in the rookies, I went to Sri Lanka on a school trip. In the pros, I broke my arm, and this year I broke my collarbone, which was quite annoying. But hopefully next year I can win the championship.
You'll be all right. I'm sure you'll be back as fighting fitter than ever, and hopefully keep everything, all the bones in all the right places. Just coming to the end of this lap here, Charlie Nesbitt is still leading ahead of Richard Holmes-Williams. Sullivan, you was in that Junior LC40 Elite race. You nearly had Johnny Garnis there on the last lap.
It was really hard trying to keep up with Johnny, because my bike started to slow down because of some reason. I'm not exactly sure, but the acceleration wasn't coming out of the corner as much as it would normally do. So I just had to try and keep up with Johnny and get the second position. But I'm kind of quite gutted still, because if I kept up with Johnny, if I beat Johnny, I would have got first overall in LC. But that's how stuff goes sometimes.
That's racing, as they say. If I could, what's your favourite moment of the year? If you could look back on the entire 2018 season, what race or what moment would you want to relive?
That's quite hard, because probably when you said the move of the season, when I went round the outside of Mason, going through that corner, that was the best. But then at Rara, the first time I got a podium in LC, I don't know.
Lots to choose from, I suppose. Was you so successful? What about you, Johnny? What would you choose as your number one moment?
Probably mine was the last race when I came first in the liquid cools, because I've never won a liquid cool race because I've never really had a liquid cool bike. But last year at GYG, I was doing okay on my air cool bike. I was going to get first overall, but on the last lap, last corner, I high-sided and I took Bailey. He crashed just after the line, so I kind of knocked him off, but he crashed after the line. And yeah, they're my quite good results in the liquid cool, but my best is when I came first in the liquid cool just then.
That's good. So you're still making good memories even now. Just back to the race in action, 8 laps to go, and Charlie Nesbitt is still your race leader ahead of Richard Holmes-Williams and Elliot Dufton there in third. Quite spaced out, really. There's a little bit of a battle going on between Keir Armstrong and Brandon Perrell. Alex Vella is up into 7th place. Martin Glossop still holding a very, very good 4th position. Now then, turning attention to next year, lads. What are you going to be doing, Sullivan?
Because I'm quite old. I wanted to do rookies again this year, but people just they're so light, it's just really hard to keep up. So I had to just go pros this year. So next year I'll be doing LC again, then I'll be starting on gear bikes and Metro Kit 50, but I might do a few 70 rounds because I'm 11, turning 12 next year. I'm basically I should be at this stage which Casey is at, but because I've only been riding a bike for 2 years, nearly 3 years now, it's quite hard.
Johnny, what about you? What are we doing for next year?
I'm going to be doing the same as Sullivan, so I'm going to be doing the Poddies and the 50s, so we'll probably be better than the 50s, hopefully. See who's better.
Who do you think is going to finish next year on top then?
I'd say me, because I'm taller than you, and you can't reach your pedals yet.
I can.
Just correct him. Right, back to the race action. 6 laps to go. Charlie Nesbitt is still your race leader, ahead of Richard Holmes-Williams and Elliot Dufton there in 3rd place. Martin Glossop is 4th. 5th place at the moment belongs to Keir Armstrong, ahead of Brandon Perrell, Alex Vella, Tom Whedon there in 8th place. Good result from him. 9th is Harvey Claridge, and then Josh Watley in 10th. And then it's Ash Barnes. Has it been difficult for you guys this year doing more than one class, because you've got liquid cools and the air cooled? How's it been? Has it been easy to adapt, or is there no real adaptation needed?
Because I'm quite tall, so I'm not actually tall, but some people are quite small, because Johnny, it's really hard for me to keep up, because he's a bit lighter than me, a bit like Mason, so they get more acceleration and more top speed. So have to push. My dad makes me feel like I have to push double the hardness to keep up, but that's how things go sometimes, and it will help me in the future so when I beat people my way, I can try same hardness. But,
what about you, Johnny?
What was the question
I
again?
can't remember. I was hoping you'd know. What did I ask you, Sullivan?
Oh.
What am I doing? Was it next year? What am I doing next year?
Yeah, what am I doing next year?
We said
It's about the classes.
How easy is it about other classes? We'll ignore the producer. He's giving me false questions.
It's quite easy. There's only like one session in between. So there's no big rush, but it's kind of about the money.
Yeah.
Because next year we need to save some money because we're getting a new house.
Okay. Is that one
yeah.
going to be just yours? Your mum and dad aren't going to be there. It's just going to be you living there.
No, it's me, my mum, and my sister.
I bet you wish, Johnny.
He'd have you around every night. You'd have a right go. You build yourself an own little kart circuit. We've got 3 laps to go then of this Extreme 200 race. Not much left in terms of time or distance on this whole series. The sun is setting on Cool Fab in 2018. Charlie Nesbitt still leading very, very well ahead of Richard Holmes-Williams. It's been difficult weather this weekend. What have you preferred, wet or dry? Because we know you go well in the wet, Sullivan.
Well,
as well as in the dry, we should add on.
I don't like the wet because it's really grippy, wet, slippy. Because last year, I remember every time I went through one of the corners, I crashed 6 times, and there was 8 laps in the qualifying. So I knew I had to take it a bit easy, but this circuit's not grippy in the wet, but in the dry it's a good circuit. It's probably my favourite circuit in the dry, but in the wet it's probably GYG because that was the best circuit ever.
That's good, and you did very well at GYG as well, and it was proper monsoon over there. What about you, Johnny? Do you like wet or dry?
Well, I kind of like it, but I don't. The bad thing about it is that because I'm really small, and the bigger people, they find it easier because you don't have to hang off so much. But at Red Lodge, I did get the win in the wet, so yeah.
It's all okay, isn't it? You're both doing well in the wet and in the dry. You're both very successful. We're on the last half a lap. Charlie Nesbitt just coming down into turn 7 for the final time this year. It has been a fantastic year for Charlie Nesbitt. Up towards turn 9 he comes. He'll squirt on the power now down towards turn 10, wheeling all the way. Charlie Nesbitt has done it again. Another win for him. The checkered flag flies for Spud. Super Spud, I think that's what we're going to have to start calling him now. Across the line is Richard Holmes-Williams. He takes that 2nd place, and Elliot Dufton a hard-earned and well-deserved 3rd. Martin Glossop will be 4th, ahead of Brandon Perrell. We expect to see the yellow Perrell across the line soon. No, he doesn't. Keir Armstrong nicked it on the line from Brandon Perrell, so that'll do Brandon Perrell's mood a whole load of good tonight. Keir Armstrong in the top 5, first time we've seen him all year, so good racing. Handshake between Armstrong and Perrell. 7th is Tom Weed, and Alex Vella is 8th. 9th for Harvey Claridge, 10th for Josh Watley, and no Ash Barnes. Josh Watley only doing 3 laps of that race. Who do you think's going to win the sidecars later then, lads?
Probably the Mick Williams teams because they're just always on top.
Good answer, Johnny.
I didn't know any of the sidecars' names.
Mick Williams is the only one you need to know.
Yeah, Mick Williams probably.
There you go then. Clever people alongside us. Nice to have you. We'll let you get off because you've got an event ceremony later to do, and got to give you all your awards out and whatnot. So we'll let you crack on. Thanks for joining us throughout the whole year.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you ever so much for commentating and doing an amazing job on my races.
Not a problem. You give us the good action. Johnny, thank you as well.
Thank you as well for doing all the commentating for all the races.
Not a problem. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
No worries. You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
It's time to head on then. The last race of Cool Fab in 2018 coming up in just a moment.
We're now the official partner series to the BSB. This is Cool Fab Racing. original and best British championships for mini bikes. This is Cool Fab Racing.
This is it then, the final race of 2018. This is the third and final mini F1 sidecar race of the weekend. Jack Walters will start from pole position. Mick Williams, double race winner here this weekend, starts alongside on the front row of the grid. Mick Lee and Richard Davies are on row 2, with Adrian Ems and Simon Ibbotson taking the third row of the grid. Sam Clowes, Jason Greenstreet, John Hosker, Scott Jewett and Russ Morgan due to take up the 11th spot on the grid. We may not get Russ Morgan.
Oh, he is out there.
He is out there.
He has done one lap.
He has. It's good to see Russ Morgan's cycle out there. Had technical issues early on in the day, so wasn't able to finish the second race. But we get ready then. This is it, live coverage of the 2018 Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bike Championships finalises now. This is the last race of 2018. The mini F1 sidecars head into turn 1 for the first time out of 6. And would you believe there's a problem. Mick Williams has got a problem. He's going slowly out of turn number 2, and there's a problem for Mick Williams.
He's having real trouble. The same as last year. It all went wrong in the last race of last year as well. That was at Rara. Mick Williams, I'm so glad I stopped putting mortgages on him.
Well, that's good, because you don't have one in the first place, but there was no Mick Williams. Heads back to the paddock then, and into the complex for the first time. It means Jack Walters leads this race. Adrian Ems is the only other person to win a race in this category this season. That may well change during the course of this race. They make their way down towards the finish line for the first time. Mick Williams will not be leading, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jack Walters who leads, but all hell to play in second place. It's Adrian Ems, not quite in second place. It's actually Richard Davies, the one that Mark Parker normally rides. It's actually Richard Davies in second place in a moment, and more troubles for the number 111. That is Russ Morgan. You said it done one lap. Again, you've done a jinx there, Mr. Giles, because it's broken down.
It's back where it started earlier on today. It's not gone very far again.
I
think they're remounting. They know it's all in good humour. Russ Morgan, one of the greatest characters in the paddock, but out front, never mind all that, we got a race on.
Well, it's a shame there for the number 111 of Russ Morgan. We don't delight in other people's tribulations and troubles, but they get and set about fixing that. But the race battle for the race lead is on. We don't say that in the mini F1 sidecars too often, I'm afraid. But Jack Walters over the line. It is leading, but second place, it's Richard Davies. Mick Lee looking to ride his inside line, the right-hand side at turn 1. Couldn't make it through, so Quarters ahead of Davies and Lee. Then it is Simon Ibbotson in 5th place, Adrian Ems in 4th, Jason Greenstreet 6th ahead of John Hosker. Sam Clowes ahead of John Hosker.
Of course, for those of you listening online and trackside, we have a special guest in the house. Who are you?
Hello, my name is Luca Hopkins.
Hello.
I'm 10-year-old and I'm from North Yorkshire.
That's what I could tell you from North Yorkshire. You talk like a North Yorkshireman. How's the all year been? You've confirmed I think you were 5th in the championship in the AC40 class?
Yes.
How's that gone for you? Been good?
Yeah, it's been a great year for me. It's been a great year for me, seeing as I was the second highest rookie of the year, which is pretty good.
Yeah, really good. You got your first podium of the year at Red Lodge, so that was also good.
Yeah.
Did you find that good in the wet, or would you have preferred to have done it in the dry?
I do very like the wet.
Okay.
Yeah, I do really like the wet.
You enjoyed it yesterday then?
Yeah, it was good fun.
Was it good fun? What do you think of the Tattershall circuit? It only came on last year, so we've been 3 times now, once last year, twice this year. It's been a good track for you?
This is actually my favourite, one of my favourite circuits on the calendar.
That's good. What's your least favourite circuit?
There isn't actually really one.
Okay.
It's just how you're doing that weekend and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Really.
That's good. We know. I've always noticed when you're out, you're always in the top 5, top 6. So you've been really consistent this year. What's the next steps moving forward?
Next year we're doing just the Junior LC40 Elites.
Okay.
And we've also got a Valley, which is like in between a mini motor and a Metrica, and then we're going over to Holland to race that.
You'll have to learn to talk Dutch out there, though.
Pardon?
You'll have to learn another language.
Yeah.
Double Dutch. You don't want to learn none of that. I can't talk none of that. Back to the mini F1 side, guys. We'll get back to you in a minute.
Yep.
Luca. Jack Walters is leading by 9/10 of a second from Mick Lee. Now, I'm not sure how this one's going to go. I don't really want to call it, to be fair. It's very close out there at the moment. Mick Lee just getting past the traffic. He is not done yet. Coming through the final corner they are now. They're going to start their penultimate lap. Jack Walters leading Mick Lee. The gap is up to a second now.
But not a second isn't really too much around this circuit, because you can claw that back so quickly, running quite deep. Jack Walters through turn number 1. Now, Luke, you say you're going to be racing in Holland next year. You are, of course, in South Holland, as they call it, Lincolnshire, because it is twins with that part of the world. So no wonder you like the Tattershall circuit so much. But what have you enjoyed about being in the Cool Fab paddock? What really attracts you to being here?
There is lots of good competition in Cool Fab, and also it's also just really fun, like racing against my friends and stuff.
And you're looking forward to coming back and racing them next year, I bet.
Yeah, it'll be good fun.
Where do you see yourself going if you was to look at a championship in 10 years' time? What championship would you like to be in? British Superbikes, World Superbikes?
I'm sure like every rider wants to be MotoGP,
Yeah.
but basically we'll see where we get.
Yeah,
we'll
that sounds like a good
Yeah.
fun. Play it all by ear, as they say. We're on the last lap. Jack Walters is leading. Mick Lee is definitely still trying. It's very, very difficult out there to really judge who's it going to be. I think it's going to be Jack Walters. They're down at turn 5. Would you have a go at sidecars one day, Luca?
I have been on one at Valra before.
You might what?
I have been on one at the Valra circuit.
Would you want to race one?
Yeah, maybe.
No, maybe. You'll see you in the future then, maybe, back in Cool Fab. We're in the last corner, really, last couple of corners. The sun is setting on Cool Fab Racing, the British Mini Bikes Championship in 2018. And it is not going to be a Mick Williams win across the line. Jack Walters takes the final checkered flag of the year in the Mini F1 sidecars, ahead of Mick Lee. In second place, Richard Davies should be third. We are waiting for him to come across the line. Richard Davies gets third, and a massive pat on the back from his passenger. Adrian Ems should be fourth. We're just waiting for him to come across the line. There he is. Fifth place will be Jason Greenstreet, hopefully with a passenger this time. He lost his passenger early on in the warm-up lap for race 2. Coming down across the line, he's fifth. Sixth for Simon Ibbotson. Simon Ibbotson, been a podium man this year, don't forget. It's not been so the case this weekend. Sam Clowes, he's seventh. Yes, he is ahead of Scott Dewitt, and that is it as far as runners and riders are concerned, apart from John Hosker, who now comes across the line. And that is it for racing action in 2018. Cool Fab Racing 2018. It is done and dusted. Oh my goodness, we have a huge queue of riders at the door for interviews. Hello. Come on in. Luca, been a pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you very much for joining us there, Luca Hopkins.
All the best.
Best of luck for next season.
Who we got here? Who wants to go first? Now, go on then, we'll get you in, otherwise your mum will kill me. We're with...
no physical harm will be made to Kiko Giles at this time.
We are with Owen Meller this time, Dan. This is Owen.
Yes. Well, we had interviewed both ones earlier, so I do apologise for earlier, but great to have you back. Great race for you earlier as well.
Yeah, I got a bit held up on the first corner by Harrison, and then a few laps later I got him, and it was just mainly about trying to close the gap.
But it must give you some real confidence looking to next year.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing next year still, so...
What would you like to do?
Either the pit bikes or Moto3 in BSB.
Okay, what, the full Moto3, or do you want to do the standard class Motostar?
Standard.
Okay. Do you think that'd be a good career step, like moving forward?
Yeah, I think it would help us a lot, just putting us on a faster bike to get the feel of it.
How do you rate your brother, Dylan? Do you think he's as good as you?
No.
No, you would say that. Do you reckon Dylan would say the same about you?
Probably.
Oh, okay. Brotherly rivalry then.
Yeah.
What do you think Dylan will do next year? Do you think he'll be good? Would you know what he's doing next year?
Well, he's doing the 70 next year, and hopefully he'll do good. hopefully I'll challenge some of the people that were lower down this year in the championship.
Yeah. How do you find Tattershall this weekend? Good?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite tracks. It's a really good track.
You had a bit of a lonely race earlier. I think you was 4th. You didn't really have much to do. How do you find them kind of races when you've just got to get your head down and ride the circuit?
Basically have to concentrate on closing the gap. As more as you close the gap, the more fast times you're pulling in.
Yeah, that's true. Have you've had a podium this year, haven't you? I'm fairly sure you've had a couple.
Yeah, I've had 2 podiums.
There you are. It's not been a bad year then all round.
Yeah, except that I missed out on 2 races at Clay Pigeon because I crashed and hit my ankle.
That was at turn 1, wasn't it, with the tyre wall? I think I seem to remember seeing your bike upside down, but
yeah.
Never mind. You're all here now, all fixed up, all the bones in the right place. Dylan, thanks for joining us again.
Owen.
I know, I did it on purpose, don't worry. Owen, thanks for joining us again. Come on, I know who's up next. Jimmy Parker, come right here now. I know who it is. I know I'm not eating before we start.
So shall we give
up my lunch instead?
So Jimmy Parker, let's have it from your perspective. Remind us why he's asking you if you're still eating.
Oh no, not this again.
Do it. Come on, Jimmy. You've got to tell us. It's the end of the season. You're not going to see him for a few months. He'll forget by then.
Oh yes.
So bringing us back to round 1, a great rivalry had started with Kiko Giles already. But how has your weekend been now? How have you been finding the rest of the season?
Good, really. Yeah. It's been okay, but I've missed half of the rounds. I've done, I think, 3. I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to be doing next season. Well, I'm going to be doing the whole of next season, I think.
And
hopefully.
Which class is that going to be in then?
Mini GP 50.
50. And how have you enjoyed the racing you've actually been in this year? I'd say you've enjoyed it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've really enjoyed it.
You've had some good results as well. You've qualified quite well. You've always been on the fringe of like the top 10, so you've been quite high up. I think, was it at Glanny Gorge? You had quite a good meeting there.
Yeah.
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 See, I'm not all that bad. I'm not a bad person. You give me all this grief and all that. What's the where do you see yourself going in, say, like 5-10 years? What do you think the plan is? Just to carry on doing this, or do you want?
I like doing this. It's fun, isn't it? So.
Is this what you want to do as a career, or do you want to do something else as a career and ride bikes for fun?
Ride bikes for fun or something. Anything.
As long as you're on a bike.
Yeah, anything.
What started your love for bike racing? What kick-started it? Was it just like watching a video, or?
I don't know actually. It was just I just wanted to ride a bike one day, so and I started since I was like at all. So.
How old are you now as well?
11.
11. So you've got like quite a few years yet to build in and become not better, but get more experience, do more rounds, be a full fixture in a championship kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Right, who have we got next then? Let's
come on, Mason.
Let's pass the headset over. Jimmy,
come on in,
thank you very
much. We've got
much.
a few more to come and join us as well. So do come and jump on in.
Wow, we have got a queue in here, haven't we? We'll have to start charging next time. Who have we got here?
Mason Johnson.
Mason Johnson. There, you just had a little tip off in that race, but you had a podium earlier on, so it's been a good day, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, I got 2nd overall, so I'm happy with that.
That's absolutely fine. And you're in the Mini GP 50s, aren't you?
Yeah.
How's it been this year? Been challenging? Been difficult? Or has it been really good? How's it been?
It's been fun and been challenging sometimes.
What's been your favourite round, if you could look back and relive one moment?
Probably this round.
Tattershall?
Yeah.
This like in October?
Yeah.
How was your round at Tattershall in May? Was it good, or?
Yeah, it was alright. I can't remember where I came. What, this round?
It's alright, that makes 2 of us.
You got 4th qualifying, didn't you?
You qualified 4th then.
On first race and 2nd race, and then you crashed the 3rd race.
He's after a job in here. He's not only is he insulting me every time I go for hospitality, he's trying to take my job off me. Jimmy Parker, get yourself away.
It's good, Jimmy, how you remember Mason's results, but Mason can't remember his results.
What's your plan for next year, Mason, quickly? What do you want to do?
Hopefully do the 70s.
Anything else? Just the 70s?
Yeah, maybe the 125s.
Okay, that's interesting. Mason, nice to have you here. Do you want to pass the headset over to the next rider? I think it's Eddie O'Shea. I'm not sure. Am I right? No, I'm wrong.
No, he's not right.
There you are. Eddie O'Shea, I'm not calling you, don't worry. Finn and Werity. Right, okay, so you won a race. Thank you, Mason, by the way.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
You won your first race at Red Lodge. Now, that came from nowhere. How did that feel for you when you won your first race?
Really good.
Really good? Have you felt like you've kind of become a better rider since then? Because you've been top 5, top 6, top 8, all the way through now. So, has it been good?
Yeah, I felt really better when I won the race.
You've got a brother as well, Max?
Yeah.
Yeah? Who's better, you or him?
Me.
Oh, I thought you'd say that. You've what's your plan for next year? Are you going to move up to the pros or?
I might do 50s and pros.
50s and pros? And what's made you come into Cool Fab Racing? Like, what's the attraction?
I saw it on YouTube a few times.
Okay.
And it looked real fun to ride him.
Yeah, okay, that's good. And how old are you as well?
9.
Ah, so you've got loads of years left in motorcycle racing. Where do you want to be? Well, like, if you could choose, like, in, say, 10 years?
I want to try and make it to MotoGP.
Okay, that's quite good. Loads of people have from this paddock. Danny Ketton and Scott Redding, they've all come from here, so lots of pedigree for you. What do you want to do, like, next year? Where do you want to finish in the championship next year?
I hope top 5.
Top 5? Sounds good to me, Finnan. Thank you very much. I'll take that off you, and then you can shake my hand. You've not got enough hands here. Right, who's next?
Cheers,
here we go. Finnan. Put them on. You take that. That's your microphone. Who are you? And what class you in?
I'm Ronald Harris, also known as Chopper Harris.
Okay. Why is that then?
I don't know. I've just been called that.
It wasn't us, I hope.
No.
How's your year been? Because you were battling, I think, for a top 5, top 6 overall in the AC40 Pros.
I was battling for the top 4 this weekend, but I have been battling for the top 3 before. Yeah.
I think you had a podium at Glannygores. Am I right in thinking that?
Nearly.
Nearly. I knew you was in the fight, but overall in the championship, you're top 6. You're top 6. So how's that been like this weekend for you? Like confirming that good pedigree, that good championship result?
Well, it's better than I did last year. I was only in the top 10 last year, so I've done a lot better, and my riding's improved throughout the whole season, and I've gone from 14th place up to 4th, so it's been a big improvement from this year.
And hopefully to next year winning races. What's the plan for next year? Just carrying on?
I'm going to do the Junior Elites and the Metrokit 50s.
Okay, that's interesting. How good is Cool Fab for preparing you, and you know, is it a good training ground and competitive and all that?
Yeah.
Would you want to be anywhere else? Like, where do you want to be after Cool Fab? Do you want to go into like British Championships?
Yeah, the British Talent Cup and then on to MotoGP, hopefully.
That's the route you want to go. All the big stars are in MotoGP. You know, Brad Ray might be there when by the time you get there. You'll be racing against Marquez, hopefully, or in the same paddock as Marc Marquez. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, Ronnie. I'll take that for you. And then I'll take that. Nice to have you. Nice for you all to come up.
Thank you for joining us, Ronnie.
Here we are, another guest here. Who are you?
Harrison McKay.
Harrison McKay, right, okay. How's your year been? Because you've been here in more or less every round, I think. In fact, if not every round.
Yeah, I've been doing it just for over a year now.
You feel like you've come on and improved as a rider?
Yeah.
What's your favourite track?
I think Rowra.
Oh, yeah. A lot of riders quite like Rowra.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is that then? Just because it's fast, or...?
Yeah, the downhill bit and all that.
Okay, that's good. I'm quite good in the kart round there. Dan and Lester know
I'm not going to say
much better.
Good is a word I wouldn't describe.
How has this year been for you? What would be your highlight of 2018?
Last round here, I came 6th.
Okay.
And I think it was a 7th.
Okay, that's not bad then. That's good results considering how competitive everything is. What do you see yourself doing next year?
Maybe 70s and 50s, or elites and 50s.
You not fancy maybe doing the pit bike route, or?
No, not really.
No. How old are you as well?
10.
Okay, so you've got quite a few years yet to build in, and it always amazes me how young you guys are. I can't remember what I was doing at 10, probably knocking a football around someone's house or something, but causing trouble. But if I was to ask you where would you want to be in 10 years' time, where would you think to be?
Maybe BSB or MotoGP.
MotoGP. What team? If you was to choose one big team in MotoGP to ride for, what would be your dream?
Honda.
Honda, teammate to Marc Marquez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon you'd be as good as him?
Maybe.
That's a yes. We know that you would have won in Thailand this morning, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No spoilers.
No spoilers. We can't tell everyone. We'll get lynched. Harrison, lovely to have you here. All the best and all that. Have a good trip home and whatnot. I'll probably see you later. Thank you very much.
Right, we'll bring Connor Jackson back into the fold.
Connor Jackson is here.
Directing children in various directions, but well, that's been utterly fascinating. I think it's brilliant that we get the riders actually coming in to have a chat with us. Normally, over the season, when we've had riders coming to talk to us, we're normally being told, you didn't say my name right, or you said this instead of that. I mean, it is true, generally, that's what happens, but it's better if you tell us. But nonetheless, it's great to have the young riders come in and telling us about their ambitions, because apart from it, I won't want to say the sort of phrase humanises them, because, of course, we are all humans, but it's great to get to know the names and the faces behind the names we say in the commentary, and to put the voices to them as well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, especially the likes of Sullivan Mounds and Johnny Garnis have been regulars in this commentary box all year. Been brilliant company, and I've got to say a massive thank you to both of them for coming and making our jobs a little bit more different and, you know, not easier, not harder, but it's just nice to have fresh faces in here, like it is with you this weekend.
Connor Jackson, website editor of Motorsport Radio, that one. But it's great to have you here with us. But it's fascinating, isn't it? They're so young. I mean, Kiko says he doesn't remember what he was doing at his age. I was probably reading a magazine about. I know it's not. As Lester says, it was only 9 or 10 years ago for all three of us. So yeah, sorry guys, we won't bring that statistic out again. But I think I was reading a train magazine at 10 years old. What were you doing?
Oh well, I'm sure something just as similar. Obviously, as I've mentioned a few times, I've been around the block with four wheels, with karting, and I remember going around these circuits, going around all of this experience, and with the young paddock, and it was such an exciting experience for a lot of drivers, and to see it all here with the new generation, with the next young kids coming through. And it's great to see that grassroots motorsport still alive, still kicking. And as Kiko has mentioned so much this weekend, the success rate of Cool Fab Racing to go on to BSB and other types of racing, it's such a phenomenal story to hear, because it just shows how much, after you put in the work and dedication, how much these riders can really get far in their career.
It's not just that as well, it's the fact of how connected we are to the big championships and where the riders want to be. You know, it's not hard work for them to get there. It's not, well, it is hard work, but it's not coming out of a completely different system, having to move abroad. We now have it in place, the structure in place in this country to produce onto the national and world level, as we have already. As I say, Danny Kent, Scott Redding, onto the domestic level. You've got Luke Mossey, Bradley Ray. They've all been here, done that, and now they're in British Superbikes on MotoGP, and it's just an amazing feeling instead of having something that's so disconnected, not very integrated. It's hard work. It makes everyone's life easier, and it really brings it back to the core fact of do something you want to do as a kid. If you can do it, if you can afford to do it and see where it takes you. And, you know, for the likes of Bradley Ray, it's given him a whole career now.
And what I love about Cool Fab and how they've worked it is that the young kids can actually race against these older racers. I know we have the senior moto class, but to have the ability to race against people many years older than yourself with many years more experience, and to get that level of knowledge, I think is always valuable. I talk about my time in car racing, but I've always valued that about, say, the Formula Ford Championships, where the young drivers can come in and compete against experienced drivers. And here with the Cool Fab Racing, it's just the same with the mix level of experience on the grassroots level.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Well, you know what? this is the end of 2018. I'm very sad because we've had some fantastic action. I think we've got one more guest. Do you want to come in? No, we're being given a very deer in the headlights look there, so maybe not. But you know, it's been fantastic to have everyone coming and talking to us because it's great. And I want to take just a few moments to say a massively big thank you to all of the marshals, all of the medics, all of the race organisers. And the parents, of course, over the course of the season. Because simply without them, and without their hard work, going through the tireless hours, we've had very long days here at Cool Fab. We've had days in the horrible wet conditions, say at GYG, at Red Lodge, when we had the blistering heat, followed by the horrible rain, more or less at the same time. But we've had truly mixed conditions over the course of the season, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of you because of the hard work. We simply could not go motor racing without you guys. So a really big thank you. A big thank you, of course, to the Keys family and Race Control again for all of their hard work as well, because we couldn't organise a race meeting without those guys and girls. It takes a lot to do all the timekeeping, to actually do all the scheduling, organising, making sure everything's got all the transponders. And also to Cool Milk, the partner sponsors and whatnot. It's been a great partnership ever since they've stepped in. I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You know, 3 years ago. You know, it's been a fantastic experience, and now official partner series to BSB on the road to MotoGP. It doesn't get any better. It's just what it is, isn't it? It's just an amazing thing to be a part of. 2018 has been fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and for all of your comments on the streams over the course of the season. If you want to catch up on what happened exclusively live in every single race in 2018, head over to motorsport.radio and onto the Cool Fab Racing website, where you can catch up with all of the audio streams from 2018. Head over to social media, you'll be able to find all of our visual radio streams throughout 2018. And I think from Kiko Giles and from Connor Jackson, thank you very much for joining me over 2018. You, especially this weekend, and Kiko, over the course of the year. Commentator curses and wasps and whatnot. Causing every single little problem over this course of the season. You know what? On and off track. On and off track. But you know what? We love it. The sport would not be the same without the eccentrics in life, would it? But a massive thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you for everyone's help. We look forward to seeing you in 2019. We do it all again. We don't know where the calendar is yet, but as soon as it's announced, head over to the Cool Fab Racing Facebook page and social media. You'll find out all about the details for next year, and you can head over to the Cool Fab Racing website, because that's got all the information on how you can sign up, get involved with the racing, come and join us, be a marshal or any other way you want to get involved. Come and join us. It's free to spectate. It'd be great to have you here. And don't forget, we're going to keep mentioning it, the Motorsport Awards, motorsportawards.com, December the 9th. Get nominating now over at motorsportawards.com and on motorsport.radio/awards. Best Young Rider of the Year, Best Fan Engagement Campaign of the Year, Best Charity Campaign of the Year. There's all sorts of nominations, including Best Marshal of the Year and Best Official of the Year. Nominate whoever you want. We want to see loads of cool, fab people in the nominations, and of course that will be on December the 9th, so stay tuned for that. But thank you very much for joining us in 2018. I've been Dan Marr, and until next time, it's goodbye from me.
This is the Cool Fab Racing British Mini Bikes Championship, the official partner series to the BSB.